So, do you want to talk about the new gen and like how they'll be looked at after this arc?
Bruh. Like we was talking about before in the chat. It's like, okay, I get what you were saying. Like, yo, they did some amazing work and they should be recognized and rewarded for their work. But I think that's gonna be like a in-house Quinn thing more than a China as a whole thing. Because like,
See, it's difficult because there's two ways you can look about this. You could say, okay, Osen wants to keep it under wraps, so then they'll be more surprised in actual war. Or you could say Osen wants to blow it up as much as possible, so then they'll get experience dealing with larger armies, so then he can use them as like bigger chess pieces sooner, like later on in the other wars.
see, I mean, it could go either way with that, right? Cool. Honestly, are they mutually exclusive? Because it's like you want them to get bigger and to grow larger so that you can use them in bigger wars. But
I
it's
agree.
like dude, does China necessarily have to know about them for them? Like, nigga, they're gonna get thrown into the fucking fire. Like, you know, like it was like who said it? I can't remember who said it. It was like right before this arc when they went. No, yeah, it was like at the beginning of this arc when they went to go get the plan. When they was like, um, damn, it was Shabunkin or one of the other. It was like one of the four that came up with the plan, and it was like, yo, y'all might be 5,000 man commanders, but we view y'all higher than like certain generals under us, and like we have certain expectations, but these are not like goals. These are absolute requirements. So like they kind of expected these niggas to do the shit that they did. You know what I'm saying? Like this was kind of like foreshadowed that like, yo, y'all got
Mm-hmm.
to step it up to like the next level in order for us to even have a chance. So it's not like this wasn't like it's not like this came totally out the blue. So that's why I think it's gonna be more of a like a debriefing. Like Ocean's gonna be like, "Yo, look, son, they really saved my ass. They really pulled us out the fire. Like them young niggas is you. You know what I'm saying you can trust them." And then from that conversation with Osen, Shohekun will just delegate them to bigger and better battlefield. But I don't think people like Karine or Gahome are gonna like put focus on them.
See, it's weird because you're kind of right in a way. If we look back, like Shin, he killed Rinko. He got a lot of achievements. He did that shit in the Coalition War, and then even Ohan, he killed what's his face, Earl Shi. But then we saw
Mm-hmm.
Chogary's reaction. He's like, the only opponent that I'm really looking forward to is Eiko. Other than that, like,
Right.
there's no one really worthy. And then Keisha, he's like, you still have 5 years before you're ready to be on this battlefield. So they definitely like
They
seem to
still,
still look down on them, and you can't
yeah.
like maybe you can say it's just Zhao dick sucking, but for the Shogaryu example, I think like there's some legitimacy because Shogaryu was really impressive, so I can see Shogaryu thinking he's a level above Earl or maybe that Ohan wasn't exactly Uroshi's level, he was just stronger than him, but regardless, he's not like a real threat to him. The Keisha example I do find really weird because like another 5 years, my nigga, like he did go toe to toe with Hoken at Sai, you know?
But see, that's the thing, though. People don't. Okay, was Keisha? No, Keisha wasn't there for that.
He should know about it
So
though.
yeah, no, he should know about it. But it's a difference between seeing and believing. Like you know what I'm saying? Like people like Uhon heard about Shin fighting Hogan, but then like, does he really believe? Like he be like, oh, Shin fought the nigga, so I'll definitely kill the nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a difference between actually seeing the battle and then just hearing, yeah, nah, Shin
Ohan is a pretty
fought him back.
extreme example though because he's super prideful and he's not on
Yeah, but
Zhao's
it's
side. Like Keisha, he would believe Hoken is such a beast because that's just that Zhao mentality. Like all the Zhao, like they're all
yeah,
those fucking
that's true.
powerful ass niggas, all that
That's
shit.
true.
He's met Hulk in bare time, I'm guessing, innit? So,
What's up, guys? I'm gonna put
What's
you a
up, man?
little up because you're kind of quiet.
is it? Let me get my other mic and I'll come back.
You good now? I raised your volume up.
Oh, cool. So how you
We're
guys doing?
we're doing all
Chilling.
right. We were talking about how the new gen is gonna be perceived as by the rest of China after this war. Do you think they're gonna be seen as like GG level, or do you think they're still gonna be looked down on?
Maybe like high general level, like people see them like Gyoen and like Chogaru type guys, not like great generals that could be like clunky and them. I still think they'll be slept
You
on
think?
because
Wait, you
they're
think
Asian
people
and
view Chogaryu as someone who could beat Kanki?
no, they'll see them as generals, but not like great generals like Kanki and
Oh,
Osen.
okay. I misheard that then.
Yeah.
They'll be a tier higher than Heki, but they'll be a tier lower.
I would
No,
fucking hope
not
so,
even
dude.
trying
I
to,
would fucking hope
not
so.
even trying to, like, I'm
Nah.
not even trying to flame Heki, but I'm saying like they're like in terms of like general status, they'll be a tier higher than Heki, but a tier lower than Conky, because Conky's still a regular general, even though he has the clout to be a great general.
Uh huh. Let's
Yeah.
talk a bit about Heki too, because he did technically kill Rozo, as trash as that was.
Nah, fuck
So how is
that.
he gonna
I
be
was about to
perceived?
say,
Like I'm about to be
No one's
disgusted
gonna
right
care
now.
about that.
that my nigga, that'll be another one where I hope Yo Tanwa is like, like I hope she doesn't out him in front of everybody, but like behind the scenes, she's like, yo, Issei, like fix your man's like he redeemed himself at the very end. But that entire like if you put an entire campaign on Heki's back without backup from Shin, Heki fails.
Yeah, 10
Like
times
like
out of 10.
yeah, I don't see Heki like leading even a small campaign without significant help.
Well, it
Mm.
depends on who he's going against, because the Quan Rong were pretty extreme enemies, and then he was outnumbered
Yeah,
like
but
1 to 3.
okay, but even when he fought that Zhao army during the Sekio rebellion, he would have got decimated by two regular ass generals if it wasn't for Shin.
Yeah, but I think he
Yeah.
made an upgrade this arc. Don't
To
you
I
think?
what
hope
though?
so.
Like he's not strong, and I don't think he's like smart, like, even decently smart. And he's just yeah,
I
average,
mean,
average.
He's the
I've
master
been
at the
saying it
basics.
for I've
Yeah.
been saying it for the longest time that Heki's future role is a deputy to Shin.
I hope not. Fuck that.
I
Why
Maybe
mean,
not?
one war
what
he'll
what
be
else
People
is he
like a
gonna do?
deputy, but
Like he would
that's what
just
I'm
be
saying. Like
fucking useless if he doesn't do that.
people don't want Ten to become a wing commander. You know what I'm saying? Like when Shin develops his instincts, they don't want her to lead an army. Kyokai's leading an army. Like I mean, I can see Naki leading an army, but Shin needs more people that can actually lead, like can actually command. And since people hate on Ten to the point where it's like, oh my god, they'll drop the story if she leads has her own unit. Give it to Heki.
Well, that's
He's
crazy.
rotted.
I mean, I don't like 10, but I'm not even going that far. Like, what the fuck?
Nah, I've
I
seen
don't
shit
want to
in
see her lead a
I've
wing in
seen
it,
shit
but
in
I know
Reddit,
it's gonna
bro.
happen in it. So
Like
What'd you say,
I've been on
Twale?
the Reddit. I said I've been
Oh,
on
on
the
Reddit?
Reddit a lot. Yeah, and people, bro, people hate Ten. Like I feel like people hate Ten as much as they hate Roboku,
That's wild,
and
dude.
that's saying something because people hate Roboku. I just dislike the nigga because he led to Oki's death. But like niggas hate Roboku. You know what I'm saying? And it's like people hate him. Like people hate Ten just as much as they hate him. So it's like if not her, then who else are we gonna have that's not gonna outshine Shin? You know what I'm saying? Because it's one thing to have Kyokai there, who is 100% smarter and conceivably stronger than Shin. You know what I'm saying? Like in certain aspects. But then to have another general or another deputy that's both smarter and stronger than Shin, it's like, yeah, nah, this is not.
I'm glad you
Like,
added in certain aspects, because I was gonna be like, you're still gonna say that after she got fucking her head caved in like that?
bruh, nah. That's not fair. That is not fair.
Bro, he played whack-a-mole with her body. Come on.
Oh no, he definitely did the Hulk. I mean, he definitely did the Hulk Loki treatment. She definitely got Loki, but you're not gonna sit here and act like my girl didn't stab that nigga up, didn't cut his fingers off. Like she,
I
like
mean,
I
she
don't
did
know.
alright. Compared to
that was
Shin,
like
though,
a
like, Shin put in some
mid
major
fight.
fucking work, of course.
Mm.
Nigga, compared to everybody else that's not a general, she did better. You know what I'm saying? Like compared to Oki, nigga, she did better than the Duke,
Yeah,
and that's
definitely.
real talk. She did better against
Uh,
Hogan than the Duke didn't get a single hit in until he did that glaive shit on the neck that always gets Hogan. Like nigga, the weight. I just can't stop the weight. My neck muscles ain't strong enough. Like that move always catches Hogan off guard. But other than that, the Duke didn't get no hits in on Hogan. She was actually tagging this nigga. It just wasn't like significant enough blows until she cut his fingers off and then she stabbed him through the arm and like those shit that helped Shin.
I can
Like the
concede that she did better, because Duke was like getting so badly overpowered, and Hoken wasn't even going for like a barrage attack or anything. Like if he did an
right.
actual barrage, like Duke would have gotten eviscerated. Like he would have just blown up
And I
into thin
fucks with
air.
the, that's what I'm saying. I fucks with the Duke the hard way, but nah, like Kyokai definitely outclassed him in terms of like performance against Hoken. So yeah, nah, I can like again, her only downfall is her stamina, And honestly, with this whole
She
resurrection,
might get
she's not
nerfed and
gonna.
shit. I hope she does. I
Nah,
hope there's like big ramifications for this. I don't
you
want
know,
everything to just
honestly,
be the same, honestly.
I hope that with her nerfing, she's not able to, like, think about it. She's already used the life of her sword god of whatever, like Ryu Kusui. Like she's already like fucking sacrificed that nigga's life like 3 4 times. She done used this technique. So I hope that she won't be able to use her priestess dance, but that after like fighting against Chogaryu and like she's like learning the actual weight of a general, like the true weight. You know what I'm saying? Like she was like Hoken in a sense, to where she was relying on her chi and her individual martial might and her individual martial training to get her through. But now that she's like actually witnessed niggas like Shin and niggas like Chogaryu who push through their limits and, you know what I'm saying, achieve this like great level of power by holding on to the bond with, you know what I'm saying, the people that have passed. Like nigga, she has Shone. So if she can like learn how to like control that weight like a real, like an actual commander, then she wouldn't necessarily be nerfed, but she wouldn't be able to do like the crazy shit like the time stopping and slowing time down and shit. But she'll still be a beast like what was Oki's girl's name? Wasn't it
Kyo?
Yo,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was the same. Yeah, she'll be more like that.
Well,
To
don't you
where
think
she
that's what
can
happened when she beat Urine? Because I always thought it was okay, if you do that super dance where you go too deep, if you're a Shiryu, you die, but because all the Shiryus are like Hoken to where they don't have weight, that's why they thought it's impossible to live through that. But because Kyokai learned weight and then she like had those thoughts about Shin and all that shit, she was able to gain the strength to or the power to overcome that and live through that.
well, see, that's the thing.
yeah, that makes sense.
That no, I agree, but that still relies on the dance. I'm saying after this whole resurrection thing, she literally can't go into the dance anymore. She's only relying on
But how strong do you think
the
she'll be then?
the general's weight. She'll be a little weaker at first because like it's a new concept to her, but then she'll
Mm.
eventually get the hang of
Yeah,
it.
if she's a
Because
genius,
Honestly,
so I guess
I
she'll
think
get
she'll be
like this is
significantly nerfed, but the longer through the series you go, the more of her power she'll gain back. So like end of series, she'll be like full power.
yeah, but this is the only conceivable way that Hara can like keep her relegated to being weaker than Shin. Because right now, like if she was at full health and Shin was a general, it like this like what's really stopping her from being a general and splitting off and being her own unit? Aside from her not wanting it. You know what I'm saying? Like
nah, it's the
eventually they're
loyalty
gonna
to
have
Shin
to.
though. You have guys like Toe though that he's even though I don't think he's as strong as Oki in it. Like you could say at the start, but it's just loyalty in it.
Wasn't
So
he
That's
not
the
a
only
general
Jones as
though?
well.
right.
Who?
That's what I was saying. That's what I was thinking. Like Toe was just Oki's lieutenant.
And he wasn't
Yeah,
really well known, so he didn't achieve that many things back then.
Not even that, but Toe wasn't
mm,
like he was Oki's lieutenant within Oki's army. He didn't have his own unit. Like Oki just delegated his own forces to Toe. Whereas Kyokai
no, he had the Toe
technically had
cavalry. But
Yeah, he's
then
saying that's like Oki's cavalry, but it's just the
oh
Toe unit.
right. It was
okay,
yeah, it's like how Den Yu and them have like 1,000 men, but they're all
yeah.
Shin's men. They're just delegated to Den Yu because he's 1,000 man commander. But
Mm,
Kyokai has her own independent unit, which makes her a little different than the old Toe. You know what I'm saying? The old
yeah,
Toe. Whereas like she technically is basically she's like Shin and them, but she's attached to a Shin. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like Shin and them get attached to other generals, she's attaching herself to Shin. So eventually they might separate that, or they might just make her fold her unit into his army completely, to where she won't be an independent force.
maybe like she'll be capped at like 5K then, innit? Or she'll become a general once Shin's a GG, but not while he's a general. Something like that. I'm guessing.
Maybe they'll
Yeah,
just be
exactly.
sent to fight the same wars. Maybe it's just that simple.
I mean, but she could just drop every. If they separate them, she could just like ignore it and like drop her unit in it and just mold into Shin.
That's yeah. I mean, she has a like a legit unit though. Like they had their own like
Yeah.
special armor and shit. Like her unit is like pretty squatted up. She even has her own lieutenant. Like what is his name? Boonin or some shit like that.
I don't
Boonin or
fucking
some
know,
shit.
dude.
I think that's the guy that one of the Quantum, wasn't it, Bunan?
But yeah, Boonin was one of the quant. But I remember like when she did the bottleneck thing against Gyoun's fire, and she was like, "Yo, cover me." And it was
Yeah.
like, got you. And it was like lieutenant. Like she has her own lieutenant. Like that's what's up.
One thing I wanted to mention about Kyokai is it does seem weird that she doesn't go to strategy meetings. I kind of see it as maybe this isn't the case, but I kind of see it as she's arrogant and she doesn't feel like she needs to put in that much work because 10 is doing most of the strategy stuff. So I was thinking if she's nerfed physically, maybe then she gains motivation to put in more work through tactics and strategy, and then she becomes more of a commander because of this.
Wait,
It could be like
when
letting
when
10
is she
do her
not at the
job.
strategy?
513, I think it was, when they were talking about Olsen disappearing, and then during that Aiko strategy meeting, right before Aiko got taken out.
But remember, oh, right before Aiko got to,
But like she
she
could
was
Yeah.
because
nah,
10 is
she
the
was there.
strategist though.
She was in the
Was she
10 with
there?
them. She just didn't say nothing because like you know what I'm saying, like because remember, 10 was like, yo, what are we gonna do? And
But
then
that was
Uho was
after
like, yo,
Akko got taken out.
don't take control. No, that was before.
Was it? Yeah, I'm not sure then.
Like she's always there for the strategy meetings. Even like she like the only time she wasn't there was when she was healing Uho when they was like when the
I could check it right now.
When the Akko army and the what was his name when Uho was adjutant and the Akko army went to the High Shin unit. I think that's the only time she wasn't in the strategy meeting because she was healing Uho at the time. But every other time she's there, she just doesn't say much.
Oh, I can't remember her being in the one when Akko. Actually, I think she was with the Akko meeting when Akko got taken out. He's right.
And she was just in the background, you know what I'm saying? She was just chilling.
Yeah, but
I'm going through the chapter
10's
now, which
job,
I
it might
literally
be
don't
like a
see her.
respect thing to 10. So like, if 10 is a strategist, it's not really her place unless 10's slacking for Kyokai to intervene.
10 has been slacking, but it's not 10's fault.
She's just not at that level, and that's what can you do?
Yeah, it's like yo, like 10 has to evolve.
I hope not. I just wanted to die, but you know, it is what she got evolved.
This nigga.
Yeah, see what I'm saying?
This
People
nigga.
hate 10, bro.
I mean, he hates
Oh,
10, but
yeah,
he's not like those people that are like, if she gets her own unit and leads a wing, I'm dropping Kingdom. Like, what the fuck is that? Some crazy
I'll
shit.
be pissed for a second in it, but you know, I'll let it go.
My nigga, you just wish death on the little sis, bro. Like,
But yo, Twale, I posted the pic. I don't fucking see her.
Damn, I thought this bitch was there.
which is in general or is it
Yeah, general. But basically what I was trying to say is the way I see it is she doesn't really care that much about strategy because she just leaves it to 10. But now that she's nerfed physically, she's going to make up for it in different ways. I think she'll be more in tune with the strategy. She'll try to give her opinion more. Like, she won't just be in the background staying quiet.
That's the thing. Well, that's okay.
I wanted to stay quiet though, like.
Because I honestly,
Aside
I
from
thought
shit,
she was always there. Like,
Was she there when Akko got taken out? Then I'm sure was she there when
No.
Ohon and she
Well-
wasn't there either. The second meeting.
I guess not. I just
Yeah,
know
who
she was
knows?
always there for like the high shink. Like she was there for the Uhon. I mean, not the Uhon. The Olsen meetings. Like when he said gather the officers, she was there. When they was going over the original strategy with Moten's left wing, she was there. So it's just she was always there. It just seemed like.
Yeah, well, she's been kind of invisible in this arc in general. She probably should have done more.
See, that's the thing. What? Nah. You're not about to play my girl. What more could she have done? She handled the entire battlefield while this nigga Shin was fighting Gyo. Like
Bro,
literally,
she's had good moments, but she has been surprisingly quiet, like overall. Like she hasn't been consistent with her moments.
The only thing she didn't do was take out a general, and that's because they had to highlight the new arch in them.
Yeah, she tried to take out Chirgayu, but my man Chirgayu had that fodder take her out. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, here we go.
Oh man,
that was after she saved Shin's ass again. Like she broke into the entrapment. Was like, yo, you in here pretty bad, my nigga. Looked at how hurt he was and came up with a new strategy. And was like, yo, I'm gonna put the team on my back. And she put the team on her back, bro. Like, come on.
What about her getting overwhelmed by the Gakue army? Is that putting the team on her back?
Yeah.
The Gakue army?
Yeah.
They had that rage mode.
When they had that rage boost.
When did she get over? Like, nigga, everybody got beat by the Gakue army at that moment. Nigga, the Gakuen army, that's the only reason why they get my respect is because they held off the Uhon unit and the Haishin unit at the same time.
Well,
Gakuen
once
is
Shin came in, he pretty much charged his way through, and Ohan got stopped
what
for
I'm
a bit.
saying.
I'll give you that, but he wasn't
That's what I'm
overwhelmed or
saying. Like,
anything.
no, I'm not saying they was overwhelmed. I'm saying no, Gakuen is still trash, but his men were decent enough to hold off 2 units, well 3 units if you count Kyokai. I'm saying if you're separating, but like everybody was getting stalled because they had the momentum and the bloodlust and the hate. You know what I'm saying? That's different. That's different. But when Gyo-un had his fire going, nah, Shin was like, yo, go, and I'ma be there. She was like, alright, waiting for her backup. Her backup never came. Shin never came. Shin went to another battlefield. And
I'll
he
give her
was
props
there
for that moment. She pulled some good shit there.
when she saved Shin from Chogaryu, she pulled some good shit there. But it's like,
for sure, yeah.
remember, she like the way her priestess dance like backlashes on her is like on some ultra instinct shit. That shit is internal to her body. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you can see the blood vessels boiling in her body, bro. That's not normal. Like that's not normal fatigue that she be going through when she come out of that shit. So when then you had to carry her back, and he's like, yeah, my nigga. Like it was over by the time I even got to her, nigga. She took out the core of his elites damn near by herself.
What is this the going on?
No, this is the Chogaryu arc.
Oh.
She literally said, yo, I'm gonna point him out, you hit him hard. And she kept doing that shit. And she kept doing, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she bodied these niggas. And it was only because she got extremely tired. And then the what was it, the third time that they went after Chogaryu, when he was in the forest, that's when she got hit by the fodder. And it was like, nah, by the time that happened, Shin was already dueling him. He got this. Like,
Yeah, that was like a super fodder or something. That guy was something else.
It doesn't matter, but she took out that dude's general though. That was the only general she took out, the Joe Ren dude, and she took him out with the finesse. She felt the poke at her back and was like, nah, let me matrix that real quick. Like she probably won't be able to do that shit no more. Like
that was pretty sick too, because that guy was like surprisingly strong. I didn't expect him and his brother to be able to press Shin like that.
I was just about to say him and his bro was pretty strong, but like that, you know what I'm saying? Like those type of techniques where she's like literally at death's door and just bleep, like, nah, we not doing that. Like that's probably never gonna happen again because of the resurrection shit.
I still think she'll be able to do her dance. I just think it'll be significantly nerfed. Either that or she won't be able to do it. But I feel like it's too core to her character. It's like part of what people like about her. That Haru will just keep it, but he'll just make it less effective.
It could be like a Goroku though, where she's like a normal swordsman, but becomes like such an elite, like regular swordsman, like Kyo in it.
Right. That's what I was thinking too. Because honestly, with Hoken being dead, like she's the only like supernatural like chi user in the Kingdom verse. Like she said like great generals and like people can like use it subconsciously, but like her and Hoken were the only ones that were like channeling chi waves through their weapons and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like to the point where it was a control technique. So
there's also those like monk dudes.
Yeah, but
you remember them from early on? The fucking guys that are like, we can smash boulders, and then like they smash the wall or something.
Oh yeah, but those were the assassin niggas. They're not on the battlefield. They don't say like certain martial artists can do it subconsciously. Like I think she was alluding that like Yotanwa and like Hoken and Oki and like a general's weight is like somewhat related to the chi or whatever. But like her and Hoken were actually like using like my nigga. They heal people with a touch. This nigga healed Roku's organs with the fucking face palm, bro.
That shit was fucking wild. What'd you think about those chapters, by the way? Did you not like them?
Did that happen? He healed Roku like that?
Yeah, bro. Roboku said that he was traveling in the woods. His fucking guts was hanging out. He was running from his enemies. He fucking collapsed on the floor with his guts hanging out. Met Hoken. Hoken did the fucking god palm shit, and then the next thing you know, he had enough energy to walk, and his guts weren't hanging. Like Hoken.
Yeah, I don't remember his guts hanging out. I thought Roboku was fatigued, didn't it? Shit.
Nah,
still.
He said he was walking with his entrails, like holding on to his entrails. That's your intestines, my nigga.
Oh.
And fucking Hoken touched him, and then a day later he was like,
bullshit.
It's the same shit Kyokai did to Uhon.
Yeah.
Nigga Uhon's like heart was stop beating for a minute. She went in there, and then the next day he's like, "Yo, what happened? Like I was asleep. What? Like we still fighting? Yeah, we still fighting. Alright, bring me my horse. Like nigga, you was just dead like a day ago."
Yeah, that does make it more forgivable because she gave him the super medicine and those techniques. And he had like a day of rest too.
Right. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Like Roboku was just on the floor in the fucking woods. Like that's wild. And for every Roboku fan that said Hoken hasn't literally been saving this nigga and giving him all his W's, I hope you understand that that's a fucking lie now. Because this nigga Roboku was.
He
Bro,
wasn't
that's
always
that's some
saving
meme
him.
shit right there.
He wasn't always saving him. Like, if it's part of the plan, it's not really saving you, is it? It's like.
You saying that was part of the plan too, the flashback shit?
No, that wasn't part of the plan.
Oh,
That was
okay.
bullshit. But all the other times in it, like, and this arc, he didn't even save Roboku, so you can't really say he saved him here because he died. So it's only the Duke, and he was with Roboku the whole time. So that's just Roboku having his general with him, you know?
Yeah, I don't want to get too much into this because I want to do a separate discussion for Riboku, and Twale we're probably gonna go ham if we talk about him. But
hold up. Wait, what was my fault? My uncle just called me. Damn, what was I saying though about this nigga Roboku? Oh yeah, Hoken.
Oh, of course,
Hoken,
this nigga.
Just this one thing. Just this one thing. Hoken literally gave him every W. Yes, bro. He admitted it that before he met Hoken, he was a fool who knew nothing but going headfirst into battle, something like a Shin. But he wasn't like martially powerful like Shin. So he lost and lost lots. He lost his family, lost his soldiers, lost a lot. And then Hoken saved him from his enemies. He took a hiatus, went to the mountains, and then came back a super suit. Like, get the fuck out of here. Hoken.
Alright, but what's the point of saying this? Like, does it really matter?
Nah, it does. It does. It matters a whole lot.
In what sense?
In the sense that he was supposed to be this super genius, I win all my battles.
I mean, he still is.
No, but he's not though, bro. He fails without Hoken like 80% of the time.
Look at what he's up against though. He still has good feats regardless of if he's using Hoken or not. He's just up against really strong opposition.
My nigga. Okay, I'll give you that. He comes up against strong opposition, but he puts himself in those positions to fight
because he has Hoken, so why wouldn't he? You know it's true, bro. You know it's true.
Yeah, it's true, but it's not. But you get what I'm saying. Like how he was portrayed and how he pumped himself up. Oh, I win all my battles due to strategy and my tactics. No, nigga, you win all your battles due to the fucking cheat code. No. Like, don't get it wrong. We got a cheat code too. Her name is Kyokai. But damn, nigga, she ain't winning every battle for us. You know what I'm saying? Like, Kyokai's not doing half the shit Hoken was doing.
The thing is, like, it's like quite common at this point for every strategist to have like their muscle. Like, they need some muscle to commit their strategies.
But that's the thing, though. Would you consider? So, is Hoken a great general, or is he a Roboku soldier? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
he's just a soldier, technically.
No,
he's a general in name only, general. Just to strike fear into
he has the title, but he's pretty much just used as a soldier.
Hey, that's
like,
trash.
He doesn't even have a unit. Like, it's just Hoken on his own, you know. So he's not really a general.
Not for nothing. His main army got killed by Shin, because like the army of Bayo was kind of like his army with Goku and them.
Come on, that's not.
Yeah, those guys are trash. Anyways, we moved on to bigger and better things.
Yeah, like I can't believe they were like the best I've had at that time.
They weren't trash.
Yeah, that's hyperbole, but compared to the Origins army,
I'm just saying we're still fighting fucking Kosen Ryu. We haven't even seen
the GOAT.
Since that.
The GOAT.
No, since the coalition. What was he at the coalition? Yeah, Rihaku was at the coalition. But that's what I'm saying. Like, we haven't. Where was he at?
Where is that guy actually?
Wait, bro. In the chat earlier, you were saying that Shin, Ohan, and Moten, they'd never led 50k men. The GOAT Kosen Ryu was entrusted with 90k men earlier this arc. What do you mean?
For a couple of days only.
Yeah, nah. What does that have to do with Shin and them not leading more than 50k?
They were never trusted with more than 50k or around that.
But no, that was in terms of when we were speaking about how much notoriety and how much hype they were gonna get.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, Kosen Ryu has good notoriety for him to be trusted with that many men.
Yeah, but
kind of a beast. Kind of a beast.
Who, Kosen Ryu? I mean, my nigga.
I'm trolling a little bit, but I do think he's underrated.
He would have got stomped by Yotanwa, even having double her numbers. He would have got stomped.
All right, that's Yotanwa though.
That's but you was shitting on your time with the whole battle. Yo, she's unimpressive. Her army is whack.
I'm not comparing Kosen Ryu to 6 GG level characters though. That's who I'm comparing Yotanwa to.
She's not 6 GG level, fam.
Ah, come on, guys.
Come on, like.
Here we go.
She's good in it. I read.
Okay, the first two characters we're talking about on the tier list: Riboku and Yotanwa, guaranteed.
What'd you say?
I said first two characters we're talking about on the tier list: Riboku and Yotanwa.
Don't get me wrong. Like, I still put Riboku. Bro, I still put Riboku on top tier list. Like, I still like. Are we like? Do we have an S rank or is A rank just the highest?
I think it's either S or S plus that's the highest. Let me find the tier list.
I would put, no bullshit, I would put Riboku and Osen at whatever the highest tier, like as the characters that are still alive right now, I would put them, if it's S or double S or whatever, I would put them at the highest tier. And then I would put like Yotanwa and Kanki the tier below them.
Kanki should go on the first one as well. Like, come on.
Nah, bro, your boy was
sleeping.
Your boy was relegated to table duty. So
relax, bro. Ryder was facing against the Riboku army without Zeno, like without issues, you know.
Okay, so I posted the list, and it's not like AS. It's GOAT contender, top tier, mid tier, low top tier, high tier, mid high tier, shit like that. Okay, GOAT contender is someone that's arguably the GOAT, so you can make a good argument for him being the greatest of all time. And have Osen, Riboku, Renpa, Hakuki, and Oki all in that tier.
Bro, you sleeping on Bananji and Chokaru.
For putting them on the same tier as Gekishin?
Hold up. I like to start at the bottom and then work my way up.
Oh, you're not going to like the hacking guitar placement, I can tell you that much.
Damn, bro. Why? Okay, nah. Okay. Hold up. You gotta make a separate tier.
Wait, is that Rikusen at the bottom?
That's what I was about to say. Like, bro, chill. Rikusen is nice.
Is it?
Like, come on. Why you gotta say?
Bro, put him next to Naki, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Like, come on, bro. This is trash.
I think you're underestimating the fundamentals, my dude.
Bro, if it takes 8 to 9 days for you to use the fundamentals, then I'm underestimating you, nigga. Like that was so
fair enough. I mean, I'd be fine with putting Heki like one tier below that. I don't really care.
Wow, Zeno with Bate and Baggio, you know, get the fuck out of here.
Bro, okay, wait. You got Siriu over Baggio?
Yeah? What the fuck? Why not?
And the Figo King? Come on, bro.
Bro,
come on.
She's arguably stronger than Baggio, and she definitely has a higher degree of tactics.
Bro, this is the Figo. Hold on, we'll get to the Baggio thing in a second. My man Danto, the Figo King, deserves to be on a higher list, my nigga. That's blasphemous.
He's just the GOAT Mogu. Whoa, Maron, why the fuck is Raido? Oh my god, Raido and Maron there as well. Like, they should be higher.
Boy, Roku,
wait, hold on.
like, come on, bro. I know he died a couple times, but like, my nigga, you can't disrespect. My man took out the whole War Elephant Squadron by himself.
But wait, you're saying Figo King is too low, and then you compare him to a beast, and you're like, well, Roku Omi's a beast too. Yeah, that's why they're on the same tier. What do you mean?
No, but I'm saying they both should be higher. Like.
Okay, so who's on that tier that doesn't deserve to be on it?
Maron and Raido. And Naki.
Naki's cool on this tier because we haven't really seen much. Naki hasn't fought like a really like strong opponent 1v1. He's just been like an ambush and like what is it, the counter squad. Okay, Maron is cool on this list. Raido is cool at this list.
No, bro, Raido's had an Riboku army on his own, like with no Zeno, like.
Bro, they're tired as shit.
I'm about to say a tired Riboku.
It's still part of the Origins army, you know.
We don't know that. We already went over that argument. We can't really say that it's the Origins army, and it doesn't really make sense for it to be.
Even if it is, Raido and them are not using tactics, so that Origin shit doesn't work. Just like it didn't work against Osen. They're not
that good,
soldiers.
You know?
No, bro, it's because
they're
tired.
They're not using tactics because they're that good. The Conky Stan arguments.
Osen already said, like, the reason why we don't have to rush is because Riboku will not beat Conky with a tired and exhausted army. Like, that's all it was. If Riboku's army was fresh, Conky gets steamrolled. His own
Bro, no, Conky's still sitting there, not even looking at Riboku, like, you know. We'll leave it
Because
to Myron and Rido.
Because he has enough confidence.
He's baiting you,
given
dude.
oath, that given enough. Fuck it, man. Listen,
It's not bait, but
high tier. You
agenda.
got some Suiju on the same level as Shin and them.
Wait. Before we get to that, go over the other people on the tier list with Figo King and Roku Omi. Who doesn't belong in that list?
At least Myron
Nah.
has to move up.
No,
'cause he's
no
that county
bullshit.
strategist.
Just move the Figo King and Roku Omi up. Everybody else can stay. Because everybody else has either not shown enough or is dead.
Well, you really think Figo King is on Baggio's level?
Bro, not for nothing. You need
And
to move
Zeno's
Baggio
level?
up.
Oh,
I
okay.
want you to-
Of course you're gonna
I
say
want
that.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like Baggio and Roku, Figo King and Roku Omi should be on high mid tier. Baggio should be on low high tier.
Okay, like
No,
let's compare it to Shiryu, for
Baggio's
example.
fine there. Baggio's
You
fine
can
there.
argue they're comparable in strength. We don't really know who's stronger. I'd be willing to give Baggio benefit of the doubt, saying he's stronger. But Shiryu is most definitely way better at using tactics. I mean, she was able to maneuver her way through an Origin's army and get to Riboku's HQ without Riboku being able to trap her, anyone being able to trap her.
They
Like-
did trap her, bro. What are you talking about? The first time she did it, they
No, but
No, I'm talking about after, when she made it to the HQ. Because that's after they had, like, time to develop counters to the tactics.
okay, but that's the thing though. Like, are we saying that are we saying that Baggio wouldn't just manhandle?
no, Baggio's dying like the first. If he was to
What?
send in that probe, like
Dude, Baggio couldn't manhandle Goba's troops, let alone Origin's troops.
Wow.
Yeah, like
Baggio couldn't handle. He couldn't do what?
He couldn't manhandle Goba's troops. He was stalled by them.
Bro, those are mountain troops. Those are we already know. what the
Origin
mountain
troops are like.
No, we don't. We don't.
Thousand times.
Yes, we do know that the mountain troops are physically stronger than the regular the Zhao soldiers. Come on, bro.
No. Like, when it comes to averages, sure, but elite Zhao soldiers and elite Plainsfolk soldiers in general, no, I'm not willing to give mountain soldiers benefit of the doubt.
Like the orange troops are like the best troops in Zao. Like, come on.
Oh my God! Here we go. Origin troops are the best. Origin troops are
Bro,
the best.
then
troops
they're
out
Roku's
there.
like personal
Bro, they
fucking
got
troops. Like,
beaten
come on.
They got beaten 2 pages. Get the fuck out of here.
By fucking Olsen though, what the fuck? You have to accept that.
Bro, my man did a quick. He did a okay. Look to my left. Whoop, look to my right. Whoop. I bet, yo, you go here, you do that. You go here, you do that. My nigga,
Bro.
ain't nobody listen. Just wait on it. Like, come on, get the fuck.
Bro, your tower like with 100k people ain't beating them, you know what I'm saying? She can have 10 times the numbers, bro. She'll still lose.
Nah, bro. You what?
10 times might be, like, fucking exaggerating, but she's definitely struggling against them. Crazy.
Bro, I'm not saying that they're just gonna fucking. I'm not saying that they steamroll over Riboku's army, but they're not getting like Baggio is not dying. Like, are you crazy?
He's not dying, but he's not making progress.
He'll get
Yes.
trapped.
Why
Like,
not?
Because Solo and Shiryu, they're arguably comparable or stronger than Baggio, and they got immediately stopped at first.
But
and
okay, that's the
Shiryu
whole-
was gonna get trapped, but Soul was there, and he's like
But
close to her
that's-
level, so he could get her out. But Baggio going in
But
and
that's what I'm saying. So she needed help to get out, and then y'all gonna say, "Oh, but the two of them together
that's
are
true, that's
smarter
true.
than Baggio." Like,
That's
come on,
true.
bro. Like, we're talking about putting him on the same level as her, and if she
Nope.
needed help to get out of the trap, then why can't we accept that with a little help, Baggio gets out of the trap and does the same?
No, but we were arguing that he doesn't make progress.
I'm arguing that he's on the same level as her, and you're saying not because she
No,
got
but-
help. And
but
he-
that
No, because she
After
had
that,
time to
that's
adapt
what
after.
Bruh, y'all really gotta
Like,
stop
she
sleeping
managed
on the
to.
mountain people. Like, you really gotta stop. You know what? I'm rolling another one. Y'all get y'all getting me tight. But
Well,
nah,
fam,
also-
you're sleeping on Zeno. Zeno should be high tier, you know.
Hold on. Let me
At
let me
least.
take off my hoodie and shit.
There you
But-
go,
but
fam.
basically-
Okay.
Like, just going over some feats for the Origins troops. Their shield troops were able to stop Shiryu's advance, and we know Shiryu's capable of going toe-to-toe with Bate, who could withstand Shin's blows, and Shin could fight
Bro,
on par with
why
Gaimo.
He's not that strong. Nigga. Why does everybody keep
He isn't.
boxing? Bro,
Okay, he for sure wasn't on Shin's level, but he could match him physically, no doubt.
Bro, if him and Shin had an extended duel in this arc,
He
Shin
died.
bodies him.
Fact.
Okay, sure.
Shin gives him the Gakurai treatment, bro.
No, he does not give him the Gakue treatment. Get the fuck out of here.
Yes, he is.
You'll
Yes,
get
he
to
is.
hit.
You wanna know why? Because Bati's gonna rush that Shin or rush that Kyokai with the Ryuto, and he's gonna get blocked. Get the fuck out of here.
He's gonna block the attack like he did at Kokyo. Shin couldn't speed blitz him back then.
Shin
Yeah, but
is
Shin's
way stronger
leveled up.
now.
Yeah.
Like,
Why?
I'm gonna say Shin has made. First of all, he's using Oki's glaive. So even if he blocks it, that shit is getting. Like that shit is still getting dropped on that Hoken shit, my nigga. I can't stop the weight. Like,
No, if Shin wants to fight him at the left wing,
like,
though,
bro,
Shin would have.
Dude,
Nah,
before Oki's glaive, Shin was going toe to toe with Gaimo.
Bro,
Yeah.
what I'm saying
Guy
is,
was rushing Bate, like, come on.
didn't Bati get clapped up by Zeno?
No. He had to retreat because the hill needed help.
Yeah.
I could have
He was about to die quickly.
Oh no. Kisui got his shit clapped by Zeno.
Yeah, he got his shit fucking rocked. My man saw a different dimension. He's like, what happened here?
Kisui got his shit clapped by Zeno. But yeah, nah, Bati's trash.
Bro, how can you call him trash when he can withstand hits from someone who can fight Gaimo?
Stop. That's
But why'd you have that guy that fought?
Oh, let Wally talk. Let Wally talk.
Let me reiterate. He's not trash, but he's not on the same level as Baggio. You know what I'm saying? I would put him on the same level as the Figo King. So if you're asking me about this tier, I would move Baggio up to the same level as Kyokai, Kiryu. My nigga, how you got the unnamed Black Cavalry nigga from Shohei?
Of course, show him my proper respect.
Come on, bro.
Okay, I don't care if you put him a tier lower. I don't give a fuck. That's just a fucking prediction.
No. But I'm just saying, like, how do you have people we know nothing about over
predictions?
Why those two there? Like, literally.
Like, come on, bro. You have Karin's brother. You
know nothing about him. Like,
that's what.
Bro, I don't care if you put them in mid tier or low mid tier though. That's a prediction.
I don't know where to put them, but they should drop mid tier.
Is the person after Bate a Kakin?
Yeah.
Bro, you got him on this. Oh my God. Yo.
Wait. What's wrong with that?
Yo, why the disrespect, my nigga? Why the disrespect?
That's kind of fair.
If anything, he did better than Baggio. He went toe to toe with Bananji's army.
Boy.
A crippled Bananji army, but yeah.
So wait, you got Raizo, Zeno, Goba. How do you have Zeno and Goba on the same level?
Facts, Zeno needs to be higher,
Wait.
No, how do you have Rozo and Goba on the same level?
Yeah.
Off the hierarchy standing alone, he's over his little brother or son or whatever the fuck they was.
Okay, I do think he's better than Goba, but how much better, we don't really know.
Bruh, I honestly, do you think no bullshit, if you think your time was healthy, you think she's two-piecing Rozo like that?
I mean, I could see her speed blitzing him like she did Goba. Rose is the physical powerhouse. I don't think he's really going to be able to keep up with her speed like that.
Bro, you got wait, how do you... Okay. Hold up. Because I'm going higher and I'm looking at shit. You got Fute. Get the fuck out of here, bro. How do you... No. You're
wait, where's
bro,
Fute?
I'm sorry. Get the credit list. You got Fute 2 levels above Baggio. You are bugging.
Nah, that's a good
Wait, let me say, first of all, I think they're comparable in strength.
What has Fute done? What?
Bro,
okay, it's a prediction more than anything. I think they're comparable in strength, but Fute has a lot more tactics he can use at his disposal.
Fute penetrated, yeah.
Based off him being under Riboku, he was able to teach randoms origins. Like, we saw Kinmo, he was fucking impressed by some randoms being able to counter Denribi's snake attack. And Fute is like one of the biggest named commanders under Riboku. Of course, he's going to teach him a bunch of his tactics. What do you mean?
And there's a likely chance he knows origins.
Why is he trash?
Because
he looked like he got bodied though.
Name one thing that Fute has successfully done.
He successfully got to Osun's HQ. He successfully defended against Osun's attack when they were fighting in the center for a long time.
Bro, he let Osun escape right in, didn't Osun escape right in front of him?
But that was some bullshit. Moten came out of nowhere, like, come on.
Nigga, Bananji came out of nowhere.
I mean, Bananji did the same shit though. When Eiko and Ohan pincered him, he just escaped casually.
True.
But Uhon and them had actual feats that Uhon, like, it's not like the only thing Uhon has done was pincer Bananji and let him escape. Uhon has actually taken out people. Uhon has actually come up with plans that succeeded and has done. Fute has done nothing, my nigga.
No, but Bananji was able to escape from someone like Ohen and Arco. Like, Osun escaping when he has people like Moten and Ohen around him makes sense against Fute and Bananji. Like,
But wait, I just gave you two things Fute did. He was able to make it to Osen's HQ, like right next to
no one
Osen.
stopped him.
no,
Because
that
no
was
one
the
stopped him,
tactic
bro.
though. And
Yeah,
he held
because
it
his
down in
destructive
Osen's
charging
HQ.
power was fucking impressive. That's why no one stopped him.
No, because fucking what was it? Didn't Remy and Solo both determined that it wasn't worth it if it was just his?
No, I'm talking about after that, when he made it with Bananji next to Osen.
Bruh, they had to divert the men to Osen. Yes, he's gonna make it. What the fuck?
No,
Are y'all
no, you can't just act like anyone is gonna be able to charge like that. What the fuck?
Bro,
This is Osen's
yes.
best week. Osen was doing
Nigga,
his whatever tactics he
okay.
was. Like they know his shit.
The only person that wouldn't have been able to make it was fucking Hecky. Like, are you stupid? Like,
No, Osen had 5,000 men, dude. Fute had like what,
Right.
200, 400?
he had 500. And
Okay.
then the whole 5,000 came from the flanking. What was it?
No, it wasn't 5,000. Bananji's army looked like twice, maybe 3 times as big as Fute's at most.
All these bad times, so it's that one
Bro,
kick.
he had the remnants of the Gakurai army and the remnants of every. Like, he had the whole left wing. He
Hold on,
was
I'll
the
pull up
only
the panel.
commander he was the only commander
Actually.
left alive on the left wing. So
No, because Ohon's unit was cleaning up the remnants of
No,
Gyoen.
they weren't. No, they weren't.
That's-
because Danza didn't do anything. Danza
No,
let them go. Remember?
No, that was the Bananji army though. But Ohon, remember when Kanjo?
Uhon had 20 men. Uhon had
Yeah.
12 good men.
20 good
Yeah,
men,
I
yeah.
The rest of the
20
men were
good
busy fighting, cleaning up whatever was left on the right wing.
No.
Okay, you saying this is 5,000, dude? Look at that pic again. It looks like maybe twice as big as Fute's unit, maybe 3 times, but at most 3 times.
Bro,
Wait, Osen's unit's 5, HQ's 5k, right?
Yeah. There's no way
So
Bananji's
that's-
army is
that's
5k.
nothing there. That's that 1k. Bro, Fute and Bananji are some heavy hitters,
Bruh.
man.
but Fute has about 500.
Bananji has like 1,000, maybe 1.5k.
You're bugging. Like I said, he had the remnants of. He had everything left over on the left wing.
Just look at the pic, dude. Are you telling me that doesn't look like 2 to 3 times bigger?
I'm gonna say that's at least 2,000 people.
No,
Okay,
but Osen's
2.5k against 5k then. Even if I were to
Okay.
say that's true.
So half the numbers on a pincer attack that came out of nowhere, yeah, that's gonna do some damage.
Okay, but look how fast they were able to get to him though. It's not like they took a long time to do it.
Off of but just saying off of this one thing, fucking.
No. You said he didn't do anything. I was countering you saying he didn't do anything.
Bro, you have him 2 levels above.
No, I'm not saying because he did this one thing, he deserves to be 2 levels above Baju. I'm saying you can't say he didn't do anything when he had an impressive charge.
Okay, and then one impressive charge is what? What do you have
Against
now?
the best fucking general though.
Bro, you have him against mid high. You have him over Kyokai. Like that's. Are you kidding me? Bro, are you
there? The hype is there.
Like,
The- The main reasons is because he should have a variety of Ruboku tactics at his disposal.
Thing, though, bro. You can't sit there, bro. I can sit there and say that Shin should have fucking. I can sit there and say that Shin should know fucking Shoheku tactics because he.
No, you can't because he's a dumbass. And he didn't bother to learn any of them.
But just because they're affiliated with someone and around that person doesn't mean that they can use all the same tactics. That's like saying everybody in Osen's army can use all of Osen's tactics because they're under Osen.
A lot of them can. Gune could.
For a long time will use Osen's tactics.
Bruh.
The guy that was under
Oh my
Akko
God.
managed to use one of his.
Are you saying Gune is smarter than Fute?
Like,
Yes.
come on.
The
Oh,
man had 40
bruh.
battles.
Okay, now you're
He
sleeping.
might not have been stronger than Fute, but he was clear. But yeah, smarter. Yeah, I can give him that.
Man,
We don't really have much to gauge Fute's intelligence off of, but I think it's pretty safe to say he's fairly smart. Not like Kyokai's smart or anything, but he has Riboku as a teacher.
Okay, cool, but my nigga, you have. Let me look at this list again because this shit is just blasphemous. You have no bullshit. You have the Byakuya sword kid over Kyokai.
That's fair, though.
We
Like, come
know
on.
next to nothing about the kid.
He's Shin's rival though. That's the main reason.
In the future, they're gonna be like the same. You know?
Okay, cool. Cool. We know next to nothing about him, but he's strong.
No, but why is that? Why
You don't think he
Kyo's
deserves that
cavalry
respect when he's
there,
Shin's
though?
rival though? Like Shin's main rival. Fute is like a knockoff rival, but this is Shin's main rival.
Whoa, relax.
Bro,
Fute is not a knockoff rival. Fam. Man's gonna be a legit rival soon.
How? That was done with, my nigga. Like, granted, in like a couple arcs, nigga, they have those.
We have one more arc, man. One more arc.
Yeah, he's gonna be a proper rival at the end. Get the fuck out of here.
My head
Fute's
kind
trash.
of Fute is going chew, bro. He's gonna go chew after this, innit? There's
But
gonna be a
listen, this
thing
this
there.
this is what I'm saying, right? I get how you're doing it. I just don't get why you're doing it. You're giving a lot of people clout based off of
Oh,
expectations and predictions.
But yeah, this isn't a
why
tier
the
list
fuck would?
that's just on feats. It's feats and expectations.
Yeah, but why would you put Kisui next to Keisha and Kyoan like and Genpo? He has great morale, but aside from that, he's pretty,
Well,
average in
Ah,
when it comes to this list.
he
Like
does
the
have
guy's
other
pretty
things.
good.
Like, do you think he was the one that made that initial strategy to like confuse the Haishin unit and take that hill, quote unquote, or do you think that was
Wasn't
just
it
Ryuto?
Ryoto? Yeah, it
Well,
was
it's kind
Ryoto.
of ambiguous.
But Ryoto
nah,
is a strategist, so
I thought that was Ryuto too because he was on the center wing and Ryuto was the one to the right. Like Ryuto and Bate were the one to the right when
Well,
he was on
Kisui's
that
the one
center
that
wing.
sent them, and when I think it was Gakue or maybe Kinmo, he was like, you earned a big achievement. He's like, this is Ryuto and Bate's achievement, not mine. But I took that as him being humble, and he's like, they're the ones that actually went out and did it, so they deserve the
Nah,
achievement.
but it could be they're his subordinates, so they assume it's his dub, but he's like they're his brothers, so you don't really see them like
Yeah,
that.
you could say it like that
So,
too.
but I just assumed that it was just Ryuto's. Like
yeah.
he was the one calling all the shots, and the second he got taken out is when shit got fucked up. If
And you
Kisui
have
was
him
the
with
one calling
Rayo,
the
like
shots there, then
Well, he's the
then
one that
then
sent them, and like they were like, Kisui told us that the one who takes initiative first is the one that wins in this battle. So it's not
right.
like
But I'm saying
it's not like
his
what's his face
initiative.
is making all the calls.
No, but what I'm saying is his initiative was to send Ryuto and Bate to that side. Everything that they did on that side, I believe, was on them. Which
yeah.
is why, like I'm
Well,
saying, when
sending them like deep
Ryuto
into
got
enemy
taken out.
territory isn't the same as like sending them on like a wing or something.
No, but listen to what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, Kisui sent them there, right? But the strategies and tactics that they used were their decisions to make.
Yeah,
Which
that's
is
what
why when Ryuto got taken out, shit got fucked up because they were listening to Ryuto. They were following Ryuto's strategies and orders, and Bati is not as good when it comes to that as Ryuto. So when Ryuto got taken out and when he was like getting medical treatment or whatever for that day or whatever, shit got fucked up because he was the one calling the shots, not Kisui. Had Kisui been the one calling the shots and giving them the tactics and strategies, nothing would have been interfered with because he was fine. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
at that point where it was like Haishin unit against the that duo, I agree there. I thought you meant like he was calling the shots for a fact, like even before, like with that first move when they got sent to do the hill shit. Because it's ambiguous for that first play, but after that, yeah, for sure, Ryuto was calling the shots.
I guess that's what I'm saying. No, I am saying like from the moment he sent them out, it was like, yo, go to that side. I leave you to your devices. He had enough trust in them to like, yo, I'm telling you where to go, but what you do when you get there is up to you. And Ryuto, being Ryuto, was like, all right, we gonna cause some confusion. We gonna take this hill, even though it's not necessary, and it worked.
You can argue that. We don't really know. I would probably argue the opposite, but yeah. What was this
Oh,
all about again? You were saying something about
Fute's
Kisui.
placement, my nigga.
no Kisui's place, and
Oh,
yeah,
Kisui placement. Where is
yeah,
he?
Kisui next to K, he's next to Fute. Like I think
Oh shit, that is
Keisha
yeah,
and
that is.
Kyoan like should be on the same list as them. But he has great morale feats, but that's about it.
His army is pretty strong too. He's fairly smart as well.
They are though. Like,
Like overall manpower wise, his army is a force.
How do you have
but then
Maron over? Yo, how do
you
you have
have
Maron over 10, bro?
you have the girl that's Tokyo
Of
in
course, you would
Kanki's
mention
army,
that, dude.
and she was going toe to
So
toe
wait,
with
you think
Kisui's
10
army.
belongs in mid tier?
I think
No,
yeah, I think she
10,
belongs
10's
on the
fine there
same.
to be honest.
I think she belongs on the same level as him. No lie. Like I don't see Maron being any smarter than she is. It's not like you would say
Give
like
me
The
a
Maron.
the
fucking
main feat
number
I
one.
called to is because Kinmo has been so impressive this arc, and Marin was able to fight on par with him despite Kinmo having the hill advantage. So to me, I have to put Marin at least a tier above Kinmo, and I don't really have 10 over Kinmo based on how impressive Kinmo was this arc.
And Kokyo was fine on par with Kisui army, like, and what's it called?
Wait,
Aside from that one time he gave that big morale boost and he pushed her back a little bit, but overall it was a decent fight, and she's fucking low mid tier. It's
like I
kind of
said,
not
I just
fair.
think they was on the same level. I think 10 should be on the same level as. Like I said, I don't like when they was at the strategy meet. It wasn't like her comments about the strategy meeting was actually preferred as opposed to what the other like the Archer bitch was talking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't think Marin's
Maron
smarter
was
than her,
leading
but I
on,
feel like he has other things that probably
and
elevate him.
he was leading like 5,000 men. We know that kill like she doesn't lead them, but we know that she can strategize and command at least 8,000 men. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like 10 is like she's not a commander to where like she's on the battlefield, but neither is Maron. Maron is a strategist. So in
No,
terms
but
of that, I would
Maron
say that
and 10 are different types though. Like 10, Maron will be leading his own unit and like be in the thick of things, and 10's just at the back.
Would he
So,
though?
but
I mean,
no,
I think we did
like
kind of see that when he was against Kinmo, but he wasn't
yeah,
like far into the battlefield or anything.
that's what I'm saying. Like Maron is a strategy. Like he'll get into the fight if he has to, but like his preferred way of battling is sitting back and just watching shit go according to plan. Kind of
I
like 10.
can't keep it
So
honest.
wait, how do you
Maron really.
compare 10 to Kinmo then?
Where's Kimo on this list?
Kinmo,
Same tier as 10.
same tier
Oh
as 10.
God, bro.
Honestly,
That guy,
Kinmo is the other Kesha dude, right?
Yeah.
Yo, I ain't gonna hold you. He's not bad. He just gets put in bad situations. Like,
yeah, literally.
That's
He's like,
definitely a fact.
he's like, cause like at the Kokyo Hills, it wasn't his fault. Like Kesha died, he wasn't even on that wing, and then these
The
niggas.
main thing I was impressed by is him being able to hold the Haishin unit, and they needed a Kaken's help to get past him.
But see,
Yes,
yeah,
he had Orange's troops.
but
Yes, Shin,
I was about
Kyokai
to
were
say,
injured, but that's still a fucking
yeah,
force.
but that, no, it's a force, but you gotta remember he had extra Raboku support. You know what I'm saying? With the like, I don't know why y'all really coined this origins super soldier shit. Like y'all.
I'm on the hype train, dude. Get on the hype train before it's too late.
Nah, there's no hype train. I'm on that Osen We Trust train for the longest. You know I've been singing them. We pray, man. In Osen We
Of
Trust.
course, of
My
course.
man's done got us through the war. But Kinmo, like I said, he's just been put in a lot of bad situations. So not for nothing, I would put him 10 and Maron all in the same spot.
Okay, but then how do you explain Marin going toe to toe with Kinmo while Kinmo had the hill advantage?
He had stronger soldiers.
whoa.
Them conky niggas is like.
Okay, but then that's part of what makes him strong then. So overall, Marin would still be at least a tier above Kinmo in an actual battle, don't you think?
No, I think they would be on the same battlefield because neither one of them was gaining the advantage over the other.
Yeah, but Kinmo had the hill advantage.
Okay, but that I'm saying with weaker soldiers, you had the terrain advantage. What I'm saying.
But
is,
Marin always has his troops. Kinmo isn't always gonna have the hill advantage.
yeah, but as it's been shown in this arc, Marin is not that like sturdy of a commander. That nigga will flee at the quickest sign of trouble.
Nah,
So
but that's
Nah, you can't
hold
say
on.
that, dude.
This isn't a good example though.
So
All
what
right.
I'm saying is, yes, he had what he had the hill advantage, but how did Marin lose the hill? You know what I'm saying? It's like he had his men were more organized to take the hill quicker from Maron's men who were technically stronger. So that's what I'm saying. Like it's just trade off.
Not really, because it was more so Keisha's strategies that gained them the hill advantage.
Really? I thought Keisha was over there fucking with Raito and.
Well,
and
first Kisu fucked with the Haishin unit, and then they made Konki think he had to rely on Zeno. And then Konki's like, okay, I'm going to let them take the hill because I'm just going to have Zeno attack him from the back and it's going to fuck him up. But then Gakue and the whole thing stopped Zeno's charge, and then Kisha was able to flank.
Right, that's what I'm saying. For the most part of the Kokyo Hills, it was Maron and Kenmo 1v1, and it was a stalemate until Kisui came over to help him after Kesha died. So
no, but what I'm saying is you can't give Kinmo any props for being on the hill first because that wasn't anything to do with him.
Why not?
Because it was Kisui and Kisha's merit that gained them the hill advantage.
Bro, that was a completely different hill. Like I'm not talking about the center hill. They weren't fighting on the center hill. They were fighting on the hills to the right. Kinmo and Maron, if I'm not mistaken.
Wasn't it just one big hill that they were fighting over?
Everyone was just fighting on the center.
No. Because remember, 10 of them took 90% of their forces and went to the center hill. That's what caused that big ass hiccup that made Kesha come down. They all weren't at the center hill to begin with. Remember, Kisui told him, "I'm gonna take my men from the center hill and come assist you on the right or the left, whichever side Kinmo was on." And that's what gave him the advantage, because at that point it was a stalemate.
Hold on. I'm gonna fucking get the panels because I'm like 99% sure you're tripping.
Kimmo was on the left of Maron and Kimmo on the left of Kokyo, who was fighting Kisui on the same hill Keisha was at, though. Isn't that how it was? I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure Maron and Kinmo's battle was more isolated than everybody else. Because that's why he said it was a stalemate between them.
All right, look at the panel. Look at the panel.
Where are we at now?
Oh no, with the Kimmo gain that advantage back later on, isn't it?
I'm not sure. He does seem like further back than he should be. I don't really know what's up with that, but yeah, they were on the same hill. Twale was definitely tripping. He like got me confused for a second. I'm like, on another hill, like. What'd you say?
I was reading the.
Okay. Well, Coco's doing a good job holding against Kisui, and she should be, I think, one level up. Because Kisui had his morale is like one of the best in the series.
But when Kisui actually showed up himself, he kind of no-diffed her.
He neg-diffed her fucking.
He caught her off guard.
What was that? Her defensive nigga. He bodied her, but.
Yeah, that nigga got washed. And you know, what's it called?
So wait, so Maron pushed Kinmo back, but then I'm so confused as to this panel. So they were on the same hill, okay.
Yeah, the main takeaway is they were on the same hill, so Kinmo gaining the hill advantage had nothing to do with his merit.
But him keeping the hill advantage is.
Yeah, but he has an advantage, though.
But I'm saying, according to this picture, it wasn't much of an advantage. Like, they were both neck and neck at the top of the hill.
But Marin's side still has to fight an uphill battle.
So does Kinmo's. We just looking at it from Marin's side because we're on the Quinn side. But if
Kinmo's troops were fighting a downhill battle.
Bro, from this panel, both sides are charging to the top of the hill, right? So they're both charging uphill and meeting uphill.
That's why I said it's like weird that he's that far back. But in the actual panels where you see them fighting, Marin's side was like fighting uphill and Kinmo's was fighting downhill. I mean, I can go look for the panel if you want me to.
Yeah, please. Because from what it looks like in this panel with the overview, it looks like they're both on the top of the hill.
All right, I got you.
You know what I'm saying? They're fighting from the top. So it's like, that's an even battle. And Kisui even said, it's been a stalemate. That's why I'm going to bring my people over to help you. So if it was a stalemate, so if it was a stalemate, why are they not equal? Just because Kimbo had the terrain advantage? But Maron has stronger soldiers?
But like I said, like if we agree that he has the terrain advantage, which I'll go find the panel, Marin's always going to have those soldiers. Kinmo isn't always going to have the terrain advantage.
Okay, but on a plains battlefield, we see that Conky's men are like,
well,
they can't like, no, but they themselves said that they're not good against the organized force, bro.
No, but that was because of the situation, though. That was like there was so many troops coming from very different directions. Like,
yeah, they were talking about that specific situation.
Go at the same time. They had to keep men surrounding Gil.
They were attacking, right?
No, but they had to keep men surrounding Gil, though.
No,
so they couldn't just leave it.
When they were getting attacked, they had their men forward on the attack. They weren't like they're surrounding Gil, but they had their men in a perimeter around Gil attacking. That's why they had, what was his name, the Joker looking dude doing his cavalry flanks. You know what I'm saying? But they were in a formation to attack. But the only thing was that there was nobody there to organize them. You know what I'm saying? Like, had somebody been there to organize them, they would have been in a lot more trouble, as stated by all of their soldiers.
Because of the situation, they had to surround Gyo, and so naturally, if it was a plains battle, it would be one army facing the other, instead of like surrounding the whole army's surrounding Gyo, so each side is getting attacked compared to a straight ahead battle, which wouldn't, if it was organized, it would be difficult. But Kanki will still manage, like Maron and that, they still like
Them niggas, yo,
Somehow sleep
Mara,
on like.
my nigga, how many times did Conky have to tell that man, calm your ass down?
Innit, like you
Like
don't understand who he's working
Maron
for
is
yet. Like what the
fickle,
fuck?
man. Like that nigga is fickle, y'all. I don't know, my nigga Maron.
Well, he was getting worried this arc, but he's like, I'm no Raido, but like, still.
Worried, my nigga. He was ready to get yo, bro.
Bro,
He's
from
like
the
the Zeno.
beginning,
He said
once
the
they left
Zeno
for
plan to be
Subi, he was
cool.
ready.
Facts. He was like, my nigga, we're gonna die. Raido was like, no, we're not. He was like, my nigga, we not gonna die. He's like, boss, we gonna die, nigga. We gotta win. He's like, I bet we gotta win, nigga. How we gonna do that, nigga? I don't know. Shit, boss, how we gonna, nigga? I don't know. Fuck it, we gotta win. Boss said win. That's all. That nigga been scary since the moment they left, bro.
For
Like,
real.
I do not put a lot of stock in Mara. I'm sorry.
Nah,
All right,
do
so I got the
like,
panel.
He's not terrible, but he's not he's not
everyone
that
was
good
shitting
either.
themselves this arc though, like 210.
No.
I mean, it's an understandable situation to shit yourself because they thought they were gonna run out on food on top of everything.
My nigga, Kagi has been chilling with his feet on the table for 18 days. Legit, my nigga. Legit.
He knew Osun was gonna come through. He knew the goat was coming through.
Yeah, my man didn't get up.
But I'm saying,
The
not
goat.
everybody has been sweating. Because, like, again, my nigga Conky has been chilling
Yeah,
in
true.
that chair, getting a shoulder massage every other hour. Yo, Ogiku, come here, son. Yo, that nigga's funny. So, nah, not everybody's sweating. And Raido and them wasn't really sweating. They was hungry, but it's not like they was ready to fucking mutiny. And nigga said, boss, I'm out with or without you. Like, damn, Maron, you's a bitch like that. Like,
That was some G shit, bro. He's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm my own man. If I need to do what I need to do to survive, I'm doing it. Fuck you, nigga. That's what he said.
He should have just killed Maro for that, but he's too chill, you know.
But Kanki's the same though. He's gonna let everyone else die if that's what he needs to do to survive. So if anything, that makes him like Marin because they're like two sides of the same coin.
Kanki would win though, innit? That will never happen to him. You know?
Oh, we'll see. We'll see.
Man. Don't say that weakness shit, never.
right. Okay, I see what you're saying now. But still, like, the battle, nigga, everything is evenly fought, like, evenly matched, so a little success from either side, nigga. Like, they're even. Like, we playing semantics if you're gonna say the terrain advantage is a
We're playing.
worth of. Like, come on, bro. If you're really gonna say that just because of the terrain advantage, he's a whole tier lower, it's like,
I think that's fair. Terrain advantage is pretty huge.
And Kokyo was pushing back Kisui here. That's pretty good. Was he there at the time?
No, he wasn't. When he actually showed up, she had to retreat.
No, when he showed up, he bodied her. What was the defensive cavalry, the defensive nigga? Like, oh man, he got taken out with quickness. But if you guys put a lot of stock in the strength of the Raigan army, like, she was able to beat them back.
She's impressive.
And that's why I say, like, Conky's men, like, physically were superior to, like, on average were superior to the Zhao boys. Because, like, I don't think Kokuo has the strong, one of the, like, out of Conky's men, I would think Raido and Zeno had, like, the main attacking push, you know?
Yeah.
So if her, I'm not saying that they're weak, but if her men were able to push Kisui's men back, without him being there, granted, but I'm just saying, if her men were able to push his men back, then I would say that, you know what I'm saying, like, again, on average, the Conky men were a bit stronger than the Zhao boys.
I mean, maybe, but she's also doesn't seem to be that bad strategically, and Kisui didn't really have anyone capable strategically, while Marin had to go up against Kinmo.
I'm saying, but does that speak more for Kinmo, or does that speak more for Kokuo? Because, like, just because she didn't have nobody to fight doesn't mean that his men should just be getting fucking decimated like the way they was.
I mean, yeah, she did good. I'm just saying, I don't know if it's because her troops are stronger or because she was just really giving it to them strategically.
I'm just saying, it says, in contrast to this, on the right half of the wing, Zhao appeared to have been dominated, with their lines being greatly pushed back by the Conky. Quinn, officer in charge of this swift progress, was called. My nigga, so yeah, nah, if she's dominating these niggas, with or without Kisui being there, I'm sorry, that's, where do you have, damn, I hate the fact that I gotta keep switching from picture to the list. Matter of fact, let me take a screenshot of this.
I got her one tier below Marin, so on the same tier as Kinmo 10. those dudes.
She should be
Okay.
up with Maron on that list. And Shoiku's
Damn.
number 2 should be higher somewhere, but I don't really put him.
But see, that's the thing though, because Tin kind of put her like, Tin kind of showed her what was what. Well, not really, but I mean, how do you depend on like how do you look at that strategy beat where like Maron kind of told her to shut up because like Tin was right.
I feel like that was just Kokuo just being like really annoyed at the Haishin unit being great, kind of like Raido when he was like, "You guys will never get Konku's attention." Like he was just being a salty little bitch. While like Marin, he actually respected Ten, so he's like, just listen to what she has to say.
Okay.
That's how it be more time. Like these higher up generals that would just they don't like the guys under them.
Yo, bro. Okay, hold up. I'm so confused. How you got Shoheku's right hand man?
Yeah,
lower than the cavalry nigga. No. Fuck that. How do you have his right hand man lower than the cavalry nigga we don't even know?
What did that guy do, Jones?
You don't believe in the cavalry nigga greatness?
What the fuck did he do?
No. I think the Black Panther fang's dope. But what I'm saying is the conch shell nigga is literally named, and he's Shoheku's supposed right, like he's this nigga's right hand, and you have him lower than a nigga who's under him.
Yeah, he wasn't doing that great inside though, so I don't know. I don't have my mind completely made up on him.
What? He wasn't doing that great inside. He was
his side was the best side.
Aside from Shin, he was the reason why them niggas held on. Because he was doing so good with the machines that he bought and his strategies and his men that he was diverting his men to go help Heki and Shabunkin still lost the fucking war.
All right, look who you're comparing him to though. Heki and Shabunkun, like that's what it needs to look good.
Shabunkun was fighting with Oki side by side, man.
But what I'm saying is, even though he was diverting the bulk, he was sending like 300 here, 200 there. He was sending the bulk of his niggas to help 2 other people and never lost the war. How is that how is that not good? You said he didn't have a good showing at side. Like,
I'm saying compared to where I'd put the Panther dude.
Bro, all the Panther dude did was come out and surprise niggas because niggas thought that he was on their side. Remember,
I'm not saying he has crazy feats.
No, he has no feats, though. Bro, you got him 1, 2, 3. You got him 3 fucking tiers above the right-hand man of the same boss. Like, understand
this
that,
guy might be strong martially,
that's
right hand man. I wouldn't
no bullshit, bro. That's like having Naki 3 levels above Kyokai.
What? How the fuck is that comparable? You think that guy's like a Kyokai archetype?
No, because they're both under Shin, and Kyokai is considered like Shin's right hand or his left hand.
She's special amongst right hands though.
But she is. But what
not
I'm saying
really
is,
though, actually, because there's quite a few.
Shut up, Kaz.
There's Gyoin, there's To, there's Rambi Haku.
Bro,
Don't get into this.
The conch shell dude is the one that's in the strategy meetings. You know what I'm saying? He's Shoheku right hand man. Are you?
What was it even stated that he's his right hand?
It's been shown in every fucking meeting that Shoheku has, both privately or in public. That nigga is right there. When Shoheku betrayed fucking Ryufui and said, "Yo, we out."
He's a strategist though.
No. But when Heki, when Heki, wow, when Shoheku called for his men, the only nigga he named by name was him, bro. He said, damn, what is this nigga's name? You're gonna make me do research right now.
I don't know.
Shit, I'm trying to remember it as well.
That's it's just because Kingdom has a lot of hard names, bro. But that's not fair to him, my nigga. He's literally the right hand man. If you're gonna give niggas like Fute, you got Fute higher than him, bro. If you're gonna give niggas Fute all of this count because of who they under, then you gotta get like, come on, respect the conch. Respect the conch, bro. That's all I'm saying. Come on.
Well, Fute would be like him, except with a better teacher, and he actually has martial abilities.
But we haven't seen Fute fight anybody with a name. He got popped by Uhon and didn't do anything in retaliation. And just like we haven't seen this dude fight anybody with a name. But we know that he knows certain like fucking strategies from Shoheku, and I get it.
He fought Shin first of all.
Listen, Raboku, I'm not even going to acknowledge that. Raboku is over.
You have to.
Raboku is over Shohekun in terms of like overall strategies,
Everything, bro. Everything.
but
Sorry.
let's not sit here and sit that say that Shohekun is trash or that he's not one of the smartest people in China. Remember, there are only two.
I mean, he does look kind of trash compared to Riboku this arc.
Bro, and also like these man,
Wow.
they show like he ain't even.
He took a whole year to come up with a strategy that got countered instantly. Osen in a much tougher scenario, he came up with a plan to counter that on the spot. Like he is looking pretty trash right now.
I get that, but let's not sit here and act like it's not his plan that's gonna unify China. Let's not sit here and act like niggas didn't form a whole coalition army based off of this nigga alone and what he was scheming. Like, come on now. Like, let's really, you really gonna sit here and say that Shohekun is not is not the third smartest person in Kingdom right now?
No, not the first.
I don't know about third. I think you can even make an argument. Well, I don't think he's better than Karin, honestly. Or he might be, depends.
Wow. Raboku, Osen, and you say Karin?
Kanki.
I think you can make an argument for Kanki, Karin, Rempa. Yeah, those three being above him.
Maybe, okay. I keep forgetting that Renpa is still alive. But, okay, so Renpa, Osen, Raboku. I'm not giving you Kanki.
What?
I'm not.
You don't even think you can make an argument for Kanki being better than Shoikun? I'm not saying he is, but you don't think you can make a good argument for it?
I'm not saying that there's not an argument to be made. I'm just saying I'm not going there.
Okay, fair enough. I'm just saying they're like relative.
They're on the same level, but like in terms of like I just put like I said because I've completely forgot about Renpa. I put Shohekun third. It was always Osen, Raboku, Shohekun for me.
That's fair.
You know what I'm saying? But again, you give niggas like Fute clout because he's under Raboku, but then you stick the conch nigga down here on what is this? Low mid tier, like bro, are you for real? Like seriously, my nigga, are you
okay, first of all, let me say this: there's a difference between the top two and the rest, and then even take someone like Rinshoujo, right? He's arguably smarter than Shohekun, and we saw his defensive formation against Osen's. Osen's fucking shit on it, like it destroys it low diff. So there's a very good possibility that Riboku's tactics are drastically superior to Shohekun's when it comes to like unique tactics.
Listen. I'm not even like talking about. I'm just talking about where you got people compared to other people right now.
Mm-hmm.
You got Nick like again. You have Shohekun, right hand man, on the same level as 10, under the cavalry nigga who we don't even have a name for. I'm just questioning the logic in that. Like, wait, you giving the cavalry nigga a lot of clout because he's under Shohekun, but you don't give it to the conch nigga? Like that's what I'm like. Like, what's going on here? Like,
well, it depends on what you value, because if you believe he's a strong fighter, and I do, then of course the horn guy, he's going to be significantly smarter or a good amount smarter. They're going to have like similar tactics at their disposal, but if he's also super strong, he has a really good charge, I think you could definitely make an argument for him being above him. I mean, maybe you could say fucking 3 tiers is like stretching it, but it is what it is.
The right hand's definitely a genius, though. He should be, I think, like high mid tier, sorry.
But that's what I'm like.
Like, come on, he knows that most of Shohekun's tactics that he teaches at his school and that.
I'm about to say he's a teacher at the school, so you have him on the same level as a student, nigga. Like,
do you think he's smarter than 10 though?
Yeah. Yes. Like, yes. He taught me. Yes. Like, come on.
You're supposed to be the 10 defender up in here. You switched on us.
No. I'm not. But I'm a realist, bro. I'm not out here wilding. I will defend what is defendable. I'm not out here saying that 10 is one of the smartest. No.
Obviously not, but she does have unique feats like that river feat. While Conch guy.
You know what? She has unique feats because she has a unique unit that is capable of doing shit that's unorthodox.
For sure. But what has Conch guy done?
But bro, it's about
position.
It's about clout, right? It's about clout, my nigga. It's about how whenever Shohekun is in a private meeting, like when they were planning their strategy to take out their surprise attack on Chu right before Karin and the dude Ryan got together and like solidified Chu's political system. You know what I'm saying? It was him and Shohekun talking about those plans. You know what I'm saying? Them two alone. So it's like, bro, if that's his right, then come on, bro. You can't deny that this man has significance within Shoheku's infrastructure and his organization.
I mean,
And the
I could
fact
also say Shimbunken and Moki have like good influence because they were there for the Zao plan.
But we know
well,
Shogakun's
Moki,
level
I was
though.
saying we know Moki is another student of Shoheku's that hasn't been like placed in a unit of his own. You know what I'm saying? Like he doesn't command a unit, but he's still a competent strategist. And Shobunkin is just a veteran of warfare whose knowledge is just, you know what I'm saying, you just value his knowledge and he can be
Yeah.
trusted. It was
Sure,
honestly, my
but
nigga,
not like over 10.
at that moment in time, it was more about having solid minds who could be trusted to not leak information because they were so worried about shit getting leaked to Raboku that it was about, all right, let me just find competent niggas who I trust.
Yeah.
And he grabbed the three, you know what I'm saying? And he grabbed 3 people. And one of the niggas was his right hand man, who has been in all of his decision makings, bro.
But it's weird though because why does he need those people in the first place? He should be able to come up with all these strategies by himself. Even at the coalition, he had randoms fucking in the strategy meetings.
Bro, the coalition, yo, bro, that's an extreme situation.
Who cares? Though? Why do you need these dudes here?
These guys run simulations in their minds compared to Shoikun, who like needs Shobunkun or.
What'd you say, Kaz?
I get what he means. Like Osen and Roboku, they be running simulations in their mind and when they're coming up with strategy.
Yeah, they'd be running like hundreds of simulations. Like, why does Shoikun need them to be there? He can just consider everything by himself, right? You should be able to.
Level, innit?
Really?
That's all to it.
But that's like saying Raboku shouldn't need the niggas in his room when Yan was attacking him and they had the board and like Raboku wasn't by himself.
Raboku literally didn't take any advice.
Well, first I'm gonna play devil's advocate and just say maybe he's trying to teach them how he thinks. But even then, I'm just saying it's like a weird kingdom thing where I don't feel like this should be the case, but it is for some reason. So I don't really think you could say because they're there with them that means that they're like really capable of something.
All I'm saying is like they were like just how Shoheiku had a group of people around him, Raboku has a group of people around him. And Shinsui-kun made decisions. That nigga was making moves. He said, "Oh, word, that's happening. All right, I'm gonna go gather information. Anything I need to know? Nah, go. I bet. Take a look at the grain. Like, you know what I'm saying? So he had competent people around him, my niggas. Like, let's not act like Raboku is this god that's just doing everything on his own.
But Shoheikun's like taking advice to or like asking these things. These lot, they came with Raboku. They were going wherever they were going at first, and like news will come in. He'll say, "Kane, that came in." He'll say, "Kane, do that for me. Fute, do that for me." He's not saying, "What do you guys think? Oh, how are we gonna counter this?" Or like it's a different level.
And that's why Raboku fails. That's why the nigga fails.
We're going back to the fails thing.
What the fuck you mean? That's why the nigga fails because he thinks Raboku smooth things like bro. He thinks that everything he comes up with is solid gold. He don't need nobody else's advice. He don't need nobody else's input, and we gonna win based off of what I say. And when shit don't go right, my nigga, look at what happened in these last 2 chapters. My nigga was speechless.
When the fate of your kingdom's on the line, you can't be asking Shohei-kun or Moki.
When the gates of the fucking Gyo, when gates of Gyo opened up, that nigga was speechless. when he was on his way and he saw that the Kanki army and he saw that the Kanki army was in formation ready to fight, he was fucking sweating bullets like fuck.
This is the shit that all anti-Riboku people always bring up. They just talk about outcomes. They're like, all right, fuck context, just outcomes. He lost, boy. Riboku, he lost.
What was the context, my nigga? He said that he was gonna beat Osen and Gyo-un and all of them was gonna beat Shin and nigga all his predictions failed. He failed, my nigga. Like let's not
act like it was a miracle that he failed though. The fucking Haishin unit, the Gyokoho unit, they pulled crazy shit that were hard to predict.
Yeah, it was a miracle that he failed, but you know what? He should have taken more precautions. Why was he slacking on Shin for so long, my nigga?
Come on, he wasn't really.
The only thing I'll give you is in Kokyo for sure. He definitely underestimated him. But in this war, the only thing I can maybe point to is the Chogaryu thing. But even then, Chogaryu overestimated himself. Like he could have used the formation earlier, and Haishin would have probably been fucked.
Not even that. Okay, Bong. When Kyokai and them were chasing them, right? You had enough. Like he said, they would need double the amount of people to take out Shin and Kyokai, right?
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about it?
Why didn't you fucking get them? They were all ready to ambush them niggas. So you telling me you needed double the amount of ambushers that you had lined up to take out
Okay, well,
Yonko?
this is gonna go into a tangent, and it has to do with me thinking that okay, him targeting Mako in the first place doesn't really make sense because like the Haishin unit, even if he kills Mako and like the Mako thing is risking itself, but the Haishin unit they could have gone after Kisui and could have countered his whole plan. So I think he didn't expect them to come in the first place, and like his face was kind of shocked when the Haishin unit came after him. So yeah, it would have been big prizes if he killed the Haishin unit there, but I don't think he accounted for them.
All right. The fact that he was so sure is like, yo, I don't know, my nigga. It just seemed like no matter what Shin has done, like everything that he's seen Shin do, he still underestimated.
You don't underestimate him, but
Bro,
come on,
he
he's not
legit,
gonna.
he legit thought that like Chogaryu and them was gonna beat Shin no problem.
But
Like
bro,
he legit,
Chogaryu and Shin, like
Yeah,
Chogaryu
the main
going
thing
and
that like
behind you,
annoys me is the way he
Shin
words it. Like Shin, the miracle worker, the guy that's like overcome these crazy challenges time and time again. He's like, he has no chance, 0% chance. Chogaryu, you got this.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. He's like, no matter and then even after Shin defies his expectations and does beat Chogaryu, you know, it's like, oh, it doesn't matter because I still got this. My nigga, how is it that you didn't know where Hoken was? You didn't call for him, but yet you had a plan formulated, ready for him to come, ready for him to be there?
No, he didn't though. He actually didn't.
The second he got there and got news that he was there, he looked at Kane and said the pieces are in place.
Yeah, but that's because of the history.
She said yes, sir. Bro, she said yes, sir. Like, come on now.
Come on, it makes sense why he said the pieces because the history between Shin and Hoken and Zhao and Kin, like it's the big war that if Kin lose, yo, Kin are gonna get wiped off the map, and Zhao if they lose, all of that, and it's just building up, you know.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact context of that moment.
But again, it's the wording of it. It's like he literally said, like, yo, did you call for him? Much less call for him. I didn't know where to find him. But then, then a panel later, he looked at Kanye and said, "The pieces are in place." But you didn't expect him to be here because you didn't call for him because you didn't know where he was, right? But he was a part of your pieces that you needed in place. Like, come on.
Do you know what chapter that was?
Right,
599 or something like that.
Something like that. Right before Hoken started killing the Koga.
Yeah, no, right after he killed the Grand Center.
It was right after he killed the adjutant, Moten's adjutant.
Yeah, but I don't think he did it. Obviously didn't plan it because he admitted to it, but it's more of the history behind all the characters there that he's saying that. And Shin had fucking Oki's glaive and also it's all of that jazz.
So wait, what is Twali even trying to say? Is he trying to say that Riboku was capping, pretending like it was all part of his plans?
Yeah, kind of that, innit?
Yes, he was.
So then what's the point of arguing that? You think Riboku just wants people to think he's great? So he's like, it's all part of my plan. Like, he's that type of character? I don't think so.
No, that's exactly what happened, though, bro. Like, he literally capped. Like, he literally said, I didn't call him. I didn't know where to find him. It's not like he said, I wouldn't have called him. He's like, nah, I would have called this nigga off rent. I just didn't know where to find this nigga. But he's here, so yeah, nigga, it was a part of my fucking strategy because all the pieces are in play now. Like,
it's
nigga,
part one of his strategies.
Like, how does that work? So the strategy that he envisioned while he was like going through the simulations in his head, those simulations all had Hoken popping out.
But one of them must have had Hoken, you know?
All of them
had comes out of nowhere like all the time.
All of them had no. He only comes out of nowhere for win. Every other time we seen Riboku go to the woods and we seen Riboku go to the woods and get him for the Gekishin fight, and we seen fucking Kesha go and get him in the woods for the coalition war.
Okay, so Twale, riddle me this: if he was trying to cap and make people think he was impressive, then why mention that he didn't expect Hoken to come and like Hoken came of his own accord in the first place? Literally at that time, just say it's all part of your plan.
I don't know. Like, blame it on Hara's writing. But
okay. Now it's Hara's writing. All right.
No, but that's what. Is that not what Riboku said?
If like he always.
Okay, but no, I'm gonna go back to that. But I was saying, like, what was the point of this? Are you saying he was literally trying to cap, or are you trying to get at Hara's writing is bad? That's why I asked you what were you trying to get at, and then you said it's because Riboku was trying to make niggas think that he's really this like crazy guy.
Because it all started because y'all be trying to shit on Haiku, and I'm trying to sit here and show y'all that Riboku is like This whole topic came up because y'all said Shohei-kun had help coming up with the coalition strategy, and I'm trying to show you that Raboku gets help and this nigga be getting ass pulls. So like, fuck out of here. You trying
Wait,
to
where does he
disrespect
get
my
help?
nigga Shohei? Bro, he has Sensuiju and these niggas all around the table
Bro,
during
but
his strategy meetings.
tell me, yeah, if anybody inputted in something that changed Roboku's mind once, or even like inputted anything that helped Roboku, nothing. They all just repeated whatever like the news was.
Like I said, you could argue Riboku's just trying to teach him how he thinks.
Except Sensuiju, who actually made moves and was very crucial. Because if it wasn't for that nigga, they wouldn't even known about the fake supply line.
Mm.
So
But that's
let's not sit here and act like Raboku doesn't have competent people around him, bro. Sensuiju is a beast. I don't care if niggas like him or not. Sensuiju is a beast. Banaji is a beast too, but he's just a different. Like, I don't like the fact that he has to like get geared up to his demon. But like, nah, nigga, break that shit out. I need that shit constantly. I like the way I like how he fights when he's in that mode, whatever. But like, I need that from the get go. I don't need you to.
It would have been sick.
like-
I mean, I don't mind if he's still a beast without it.
Nah, he's a
But I
beast
would have
without it.
enjoyed
but-
him and Akko in demon mode.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If he would have, bruh, if that Banaji would have fought Akko, like in Yo, nah, Akko might have died.
That's not fair to
Like-
add going into that one.
I mean, yeah, he would have died 1v2.
Yeah, like, but I'm saying, like a 1v1, that would have been a good fight. Like, if the fight started off even, and then like Akko got a real good hit in, and then fucking Banaji raged out, and then Akko raged out. Like, bro, that would have been lit.
Yeah, because we've seen when Eiko was like under, like when he's in a corner, then he'll like pull out his own demon mode in a sense. Like he'll go above and beyond. So then Banaji will get the advantage, and then Eiko will fucking, you'll go crazy to get the advantage
That's
back.
what I'm
Like it'll be a
saying.
good ass
And
fight.
The next Zelda, they're gonna duke it out again. It's gonna be lit.
Man, I can't wait to talk about Eiko on the
They
tier
have
list.
to. Oh,
Wait,
where is
is
he
Akko?
anyways?
I was just gonna say,
Yeah,
where is
to
Akko?
be honest, that's a fair position.
He's in mid top
I
tier.
dropped her.
Mid top tier. Boom, right next to Gyoun, Toe, Duke, Yotanwa. You know
Oh,
what, my
you have
nigga?
it next to that Kosho guy.
This is the first time you know what, my nigga, props to you.
Thank you. It's about time. After trying to critique my shit for like an hour, it's about time. Thank you.
I'm just saying, because at the bottom, like, again, I'm still hurt. You know what? I'm giving Figo King, I'm giving him respect off the rip, because, like, he body torqued no diff. Then he came and fought this nigga Rozo, like, tired, hungry, all of this shit. Saved your time with Hecky's bitch ass help. Yeah, I don't know, my nigga. I just feel like you disrespect the mountain people a little too much.
I mean, I just feel like people really overrate their strength. Like, on average, yeah, for sure, they're better than Plainsfolk when it comes to strength. But I don't think you can say they're better than elite Plainsfolk. Well, depending on the group. But I don't think you can just say they're stronger than Origin's troops. They're stronger than, like, Osen's army. They're stronger than, like, Kisu's troops, for example.
But, bro, why are you comparing? Okay, but, bro, that's the top of the top. Like, what does everybody have to be the top of the top to not be bottom? Like, damn.
No, I'm just saying, like, people seem to think like mountain troops are stronger than the top of the top when it comes to Plainsfolk, and it's like not even close. That's the impression that I get.
Yeah, Roboku wiped the floor with his younger, so that they're really not that. Like I said,
We didn't see that battle.
Bro, you don't need to see it to know he wiped the floor with them.
We do need to see it because it
The tone was said like it was a massacre.
It could have been Hoken versus all of them, bro. For all we know. Stop it.
Stop it, dude. Stop it.
We need context. Like you said, we need context.
Bro, I didn't even want to bring that up when you said he relied on Hoken for everything because I was like, it doesn't matter. I didn't know you were going to go this route. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Bruh, but that's the thing, though. Because
I'm pretty sure it was arrows he used.
Before Raboku met Hoken, Raboku was trash. Kane said
but
he was
that was
trash.
a young one, though. You can't even, like, he was young, ignorant, all of that jazz.
But listen, if before you meet somebody, you're trash, then you meet this person, they help you because the fucking trees talked to them and told them that you was the guy that would lead them on their path. So they started helping you, literally fucking healed you from death on some Kyokai shit, right? Right? Because this literally all just crazy, bro. Kingdom is crazy right now. So this shit all happened. right? And then you study with this nigga, you out there with his people, and then you come back this super sleuth of a fucking general, and this nigga's at your fucking right
Hey,
hand
I'm
he
gonna
could
man,
have
mute
and
for a
always
you
bit.
just
There's
been
a
this
fucking
smart,
fire
man.
alarm.
like Roboku, yo, I'm sorry, but like this last arc has exposed like some of the falsehoods in Roboku. Like this, yo, come on, bro. This
Bro,
nigga was
like,
on the verge of death and got the god palm, son. Get out of my face.
What was I gonna say? Shit. Oh yeah, about the young Riboku thing. I think there goes
Yeah.
more into him being quote unquote trash because he did say that his brothers, his family, like all those people died. So I think because he was such low ranking and like at the time, like all the people he knew and cared about, they were low ranking too. He kind of went crazy and like relied on the martial style because he wanted to like save them or protect them in a way. So he was just like reckless more than anything. Like he could have been good, but he was just incredibly reckless and like try to do everything with like his martial might.
Okay.
mm,
Okay. I don't want to. I
well,
don't want
like,
to deviate. See, cause I wish I would have looked at this list before we started talking. Cause there's so much. There's just
Yeah,
so
we're
much.
gonna eventually
But
go in depth like every placement. This is just like a prelude, I guess.
all right, cause I got another question for you. Right?
Yeah,
Which
go
one of
ahead.
the Earls did? Which one of the Earls did Siriu kill?
I think the one on
The one on the right without the helmet.
Oh, is it?
So how do you have him above her?
Whoa,
Just
because
because of
Origins, mate.
Because it's origins, yeah.
Origins. Okay, yeah, okay, I do it. Origins got
Origins
hit a lot.
OP.
This nigga got bodied by this girl, and she's what? 1, 2, 3. Another 3 tiers.
Yo, a lot,
You know?
but
Okay,
what he was
where do
fighting
you
at
place Denrimi?
Zoro
You
and
have him at least 4 Heavenly King level, right?
Where do you have Denrimi?
I have him 1 tier above 4 Heavenly Kings.
You have him with Shinonum,
Yeah,
right?
I have him comparable to Chogaryu.
I would give you that. I would give you
Okay,
that.
so if he's
Now,
Chogaryu
no.
tier, at first he was getting mid diffed by one of the
hold
Earls.
up. No, because I'm thinking about it and I'm looking at everybody else on here. You have yo. First of all, take Akko and put that nigga down there with Kenmo. I mean, not Akko, Mako. Take that bitch ass. No. Yo, you know how.
Bro,
Bro,
you need to let
Marco's
go of the
insane,
hate, man. He's also his number 2.
No, get yo. So now being somebody's number 2 counts, right?
Hey,
Yo,
that's
so, yo,
true.
bro,
You got,
like, bro,
that's
come
No,
true.
on,
because
bro.
Osen actually ranks them
Can't
by
do that,
strength, you would
Jordan.
think, right?
No, I think he ranks them by what he needs them to like. I think he ranks them by like utility.
He
Like
did have the
Mako,
strongest army, though.
Mako is like the
Because,
second useful. Like I don't know, because I think so. So
I'm gonna have to mute.
like I think they're better than Mako. Like I think So is better than Mako.
yeah, I think, but I like Solo, but I don't know if he's better than Marco because Marco does have the
Nah,
strongest army there, fam.
no, yeah, but So keeps his weapon. Mako, twice.
Bro, you can't blame him for not having his weapon.
No,
Like,
yes I
come
can.
on. No, you
Can.
can't.
Yes I
Bro,
can.
he's in his
Bitch ass.
HQ. Like, what
So
the fuck?
what? You in the middle of a battle. At any given moment, you could be charging out there. Like he wanted to be the take Kisui's head. So why are you
But there was
ready to
no
fight?
one near him. Like,
It
it's
doesn't
not even fair that he
matter,
died. Like, that's how bad it was, you know? It just got
bro.
outplayed so
He
bad.
got arrogant and cocky. That
Bro, it
like
was
he got
fucking
cocky,
Roboku.
bro.
What can you say? Like,
No,
nobody else would have caught it. Nobody.
no. Because this is what I'm saying. He got arrogant and cocky because of how Moten had set the Kisui army.
Yeah.
Because them, you know what I'm saying, they got set up they got set up
Yeah.
lovely.
So it
So
was
where the way
pretty
that
much guaranteed history was gonna
right.
die.
No, but
So
that's the
that's
point.
fair.
No, that's not fair, my nigga. This is war. You cannot get
Bro,
arrogant and cocky
the guy
in
is in
war.
his
The
HQ, bro.
nigga,
Like,
no, get the fuck out of here, bro. The nigga got
everybody.
2 laps. He got the like. Listen, how do you sit there and come at Moten
Holy
talking about
fuck, dude. This fire alarm keeps on going on and off.
talking about do your job right. Make sure you don't. You know what I'm saying. Make sure you don't fuck up, right? You know what I'm saying? Talking all this shit to Moten, like, oh, boss, maybe you should teach the young buck a strategy or two. And then you be the one that fuck up because you get arrogant and cocky because the young buck does a really good job. Like, bro, that's trash. That's trash. Like, no, I don't give a fuck. That's trash.
Okay, so let me address a few things first. So, with the Mako and Horn guy comparison, Okay, maybe you can argue he's his right hand. I don't really know about that, but I feel like
Bro,
he's
he is, but, like,
Shoheiken's
you can't
closest
even argue
advisor
that point
because
of fair.
he's like very similar to Shoheiken. They're both strategy, so you can really trust this guy. Where with the other guy, we don't really know what's up with him, so he's a mystery. With Mako, I do think Osen ranks them up with like among strength, so I would say he's better than Denrimi and Soo. With what you were saying about him getting arrogant, you have to keep in mind that the reason he thought he was safe was because he would think Osen's strategy makes it so they basically have this guaranteed. Like for Riboku to be able to see Osen's strategy and then get in place to counter it, he'd have to like see it from the get go and then plan everything ahead of time. So for Mako and like for all these soldiers who they think of Osen as God, you could definitely see why he would be like, okay, Riboku's not going to see this coming. Osen finessed them. This is like a free dub pretty much.
I
Yeah, like,
get
you can't
that.
blame him
I
for not
get that.
seeing
But like any one,
those.
like listen. Any one of Ocean's other commanders would have been more on guard. Denrimi is the shrewdest one of all of them. So best believe that nigga would have his HQ would have been well protected. You know what I'm saying?
For
Or
sure,
he would
but
have had-
Denrimi's smarter, but Mako has more manpower.
Hold on, right? Cool. But what I'm saying is what I'm trying to say is any of the other commanders wouldn't have got caught in that same situation. Because Denrimi wouldn't have let Moten's good position and Moten's good play get to his head like that and make him arrogant and overconfident like that. So he would have been on even kill. He would have had a level head. Mako wouldn't have got caught slipping like that. You saw when the nigga was at his HQ, he had glaive in hand. And Soo is the type of dude, and Soo was the type of dude that would be charging with the wave attack with CDU with weapon in hand. So Roboku wouldn't have even had that opportunity to do that again.
Yeah, I don't know why Mako didn't charge as well because he did want to kill Kisui before Shin. So
right, and that's what I'm saying. He got arrogant and cocky, bro. He thought he had all the time in the because of how Moten.
But he did he did.
One other thing you have to keep in mind is he wasn't completely lax because he had men like around him, but he had them facing the right side because in his mind probably he'd be like, okay, Riboku caught on, but he didn't catch on from the very beginning, so he's gonna send them the closest like path, like in a straight line from the center to him, and it's gonna attack from his right side.
Bruh, all I know is
so he had it prepared in a sense.
No, because all I know is a nigga looked back and said, "Oh no, I have Mako Tama's glaive." Nigga, what? like what? Like you got overconfident, cocky, and then you just got lax, my nigga. Like in the middle.
Did
of
Osen
the
have his glaive here when?
Bro, Osen had enough
first.
time. Osen had enough time to call for his shit though, and still body the nigga. Say, "Shunk." Nigga, wait a minute. He said, "What was his name? Ty something? Yo, give me that. Yo, he's sleep."
Yeah, see, Osen didn't carry a fucking glaive, and he was getting attacked from both sides.
Osen is Osen.
At first.
Osen is that.
And Marco got
like.
Oh man,
But that's the thing though.
They both have swords though. It's not like they can't pull the swords out.
No, but what I'm saying is Osen was still level-headed, calm. He wasn't arrogant on a high, like you know what I'm saying. Mako let the good position and the quote unquote guaranteed win go to his head and got his ass bodied, and that's trash for a general. Like, come on, bro.
You can't just say getting bodied or getting arrogant automatically equates to being trash.
Yes. What do you mean? Because if he was level-headed, not worried about who was quote unquote taking the glory and who was gonna shine more, he wouldn't have gotten bodied like that, bro.
But that's not
the main point is if he has good reason to be arrogant, then it's forgivable. If you're arguing he doesn't have good reason,
no.
What do you mean no? You can't say it's because you're arguing Riboku was arrogant, and you're saying he's a top tier.
He is a top tier. But
look at Moten and Shin when in Retsubi, like Moten.
Son, if he can still be a top tier while being arrogant, why is Mako being arrogant automatically make him trash?
Because he got killed for it.
Oh, okay. So just because he got killed for it, right?
Because he got killed for his arrogance. Like, no, bro. That's literally what caused his death.
What about Oki?
It's the glory, fam.
Oki?
Yep.
He didn't get killed.
He got arrogant.
Because of arrogance?
Yeah, he thought he could. He thought he could come and save Mobu, and then he thought he could end the battle before Riboku got there. Going into that death trap in itself is arrogance because he thought he could take care of shit.
He had no other choice. That was
But
he could have just left Mobu to die and dipped.
Damn, that's fucked up.
Hey, hey, it is what it is.
That's your great general, my nigga. Come on now, like, come
Hey,
get the fuck
Olsen would
out
have
of
done
here.
that. Yeah.
Hey, it's better than dying, am I right? You got you got got you
Bro.
got.
Nah, bro. That wasn't arrogance though, bro. He had no other choice. That was like 3 days into battling. Niggas had gotten night raids off. Like, nah, they
But
had
the
to
whole
get
point
shit
is to
out of
protect Bio City, so he could have dipped and then just went to the city and defended the city.
Hmm. But he knew
The
though.
reason he went
But
is because he was confident he can end it before Riboku got there, which is arrogance on his part.
Why he doesn't
it
like
wasn't
nigga at
arrogance
that
though. It
time?
was a
That let me
legit
say that
calculation.
was like nobody knew about right. That was a legit calculation because knew about Raboku. His main worry was about Hoken at that moment because of the vendetta and shit. That's not arrogance. That's niggas wanting to finish unfinished business.
Okay,
And
but
Raboku
oh
just
no,
happened to
no,
be
wanting to
stupid.
finish unfinished business in itself is arrogance. But Mako had a calculation too. He thought it was very unlikely for Riboku to see Osen's plan coming from the very beginning.
Bruh, I don't give a fuck. The fact that you not holding on to your glaive, the fact that you, bruh, you're not
Bro,
about
but
to sit here.
Olsen
So
wasn't holding on to his
are
glaive when
you
he was getting
telling me?
attacked.
Listen, yeah, but Olsen didn't die because of it. And
Bro,
again,
but
Olsen wasn't overconfident and just sitting there talking. Yo, this nigga Mako was talking mad shit and just got pulled up on. Like you understand that, right? He was talking mad shit without his weapon, got pulled up on, stabbed up, quick night. Like,
yeah, but
come
bro,
on, bro, that's
his talking
trash.
shit was legit though.
His
Like he was
his
winning,
only
you know, he
bro,
was wiping the floor.
his only showing was off of the fucking fruits of Moten's labor.
Still,
And then
even
he
with
got
Moten's
killed
help,
for it.
there's very few
And
people
then
that can just low diff Kisu's army like that.
I don't give a fuck, my nigga.
You gotta respect the offensive power. You gotta respect it.
We're talking about the army or the general themselves. That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about the general himself, not his army.
His army's part of his strength. You can't like separate them because with Yotano, for example, her morale boosting is so great because mountain troops they easily get the morale boosted.
No, her morale boosting is so great because of who she is and what
No,
she's done.
it's that, but also the mountain troops thing. Because even Heku sucks at morale boosting. He was able to boost the morale like crazy because they're mountain troops. For example, if you give Yotano a normal plains folk,
Right.
her morale boosting is going to be severely crippled. So you can't really separate it in that sense.
Oh hell no, because all them niggas is horny, nigga. You think Hecky the only one that want the walls, nigga? You stupid? If she really was on some like talking sweet to these niggas, like no bullshit, my nigga. If she had a Quinn army, like a legit Quinn army full of niggas, and she was like, men, tonight we shall bathe the battlefield in their blood. Everybody is hype, my nigga. I don't give a fuck.
Hype, sure, but not nearly as hype as the mountain troops were.
I mean, yeah, but that's like saying if Shin was to lead somebody else, they wouldn't be.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can't separate the troops because Mako's troops are so strong because he tirelessly trained them. So it's his own merit.
I get that, but
wait,
himself,
I feel like Bananja and Shogari should be a level above Mako. Like,
but my thing is the reason I rate Mako so highly is because okay, he's a powerful fighter in his own right. He has crazy offensive charging power, some of the best we've seen in the series. And the big thing is, I think he has a bunch of Osen tactics at his disposal too. So I think he can use joints. I think he can use snake. He can use a bunch of other Osen tactics we haven't seen. So for him to not be strategically focused and have all these crazy formations in his head, I think that's very impressive with the offensive power he has.
Wait, you got this dude that got one shotted up here too, man. Come on now, get the bro. What's this?
Bro,
Gekishin.
You really gonna disrespect Gekishin like this?
He got one shotted. I don't give. Bro, I don't.
He was able to decipher Riboku's plan.
Like that could have been part of Riboku's plan, though, John.
That was
like,
cute.
you know.
That was cute. He deciphered the plan. That was cute.
Yeah, Riboku had a counter to it, but still.
So you got one shotted. His counter was Hoken, and Hoken one shotted, man. And he's.
I mean, I don't even think he needed Hoken. I think he would have just killed Gekishin even without him.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. So
even Bananji.
You think Riboku was a Marshall Mike nigga like that? Like he's that strong?
Yeah, I mean, I have a strength tier list too if you want to see it.
On a side note, though, like I believe in it. Riboku was taught, by Hoken some martial arts and that, and he's probably fucking a beast. So we'll see in the future arcs.
I mean, I don't think he's like Shin level or anything, but I think he's really strong. Hold on, I'll show you my tier list.
I think he can,
man.
Well, Shin's like number 2, number 3 now.
Talk about you have this. Okay, please tell me you have this poison dude up here strictly for the poison.
Pretty much.
Okay. And he's on the same level as Baggio, Bati, Akakin, Gogo, Rozo, and Zeno for poison.
Zeno, disrespect is real, fam.
Gas. Always ride or die for the Conky Army.
I'm like, and yo, bro, you got. Okay, let me see this. Like, let me just go through this list one more time. Bro, why you gotta disrespect? Yo, Kitari should be at least on 10 level, bro. She's decent.
She's at the
I mean, I think
bottom.
that's fair, I guess.
You can't, like, her and Rakusen can't be on the same level. Listen, no bullshit. Nobody should be on the same level as Heki. Heki should have his own level.
I think that's fair. I mean, I'll argue for Heki when we get to him, but yeah, I think that's a fair take.
So super low.
Whoa,
Heki.
look at this bullshit Junkins. Oh my god.
Wait, what happened? You talking about his power?
Man has Osen there. Another fucking 3. What is that? 98. Come on.
Mobile.
Like, having Roboku, there's much more plausible than Osen. Come on.
Wait, what'd you say?
Having Roboku there is much more plausible than Osen. Because like, he could have learned from fucking Oken, for all we know.
I mean, Riboku has done more than Osen, but I can get to my argument for why I rate Osen so highly later. I really do think like his calm demeanor when Bananji and Fute were going after him shows that he felt he was confident he could take Bananji, and then Fute was like light work compared to him.
Question: Are these the official stats or?
No, like these are my stats. They're basically taking into account martial might plus weight.
Okay.
Guys, like even when he saw flipping Gil's the perfect C, it was calm.
Alright, so not for nothing.
When Retsubi was.
Yo, why? Okay, why the disrespect to Rokuomi? Like, I know he's died a couple times. Why the disrespect?
Bro, he's not.
How's that disrespect?
He's on the same level as Raido. He would.
Bro, come on, no, he would.
We haven't even seen Raido fight. Come on now.
He would, bro. This man was like, what was he? The second person under Oki? Like, it was told in him, bro. He would clap Raido.
Bro, Oki's commands are
bro.
So.
Shin gave this man Raido the good hands.
Would he not do the same to Rokuomi though?
I don't think so. I think
wow.
Shin and Rokuomi would have an actual brawl. I don't think Shin is punching Rokuomi, making this man flip around the table and telling him sit down. I'm not talking to you. I don't think that's happening.
So wait, where do you rate Rabunkan then? Because Rabunkan pretty much mid-diffed him.
Bunkin? Where do you have him? Where's the?
One tier above.
Oh, that's the Chu dude.
Yeah.
Oh, you have the Joe Bros there as well. Rabunkan.
Facts, dude. They're OP.
See, that's wild because
I don't even know what to say.
Okay,
I don't know.
I would put no bullshit. I would swap Rabunkin and Bati and then put Ryuto. I mean, and then put Rokuomi on the 90 list.
90.
I don't think Bati is strong. I don't think Bati is stronger than.
Yeah, I put Rabunkan.
I find what Bati did more impressive though, because he was able to hang with a Shin who fought Gaimo and then got a year to get stronger, or was it 2 years? I think.
Yeah, but Shin's power fluctuates like that. That Shin is not a really, like Shin is not a great gauge to gauge like for other people. Like,
but Shin is such a powerhouse at that point that even when he's not in his alpha, he's still a fucking monster.
Yeah, but you're telling me this dude from Chu wouldn't have been able to fight Shin either?
No, because Toe, he mid-diffed him and then it like looked at towards the end like Toe could have just low-diffed him if he wanted to. Like when he really got serious, he just blitzed him.
Yeah, true.
But Shin at that point wasn't great general level. Like he was bare, like he was able to keep up with Gaimo, but he wasn't beating Gaimo in any sense. So he would have been at the same level as this Renbunken dude. You know what I'm saying?
No, my point is that Gaimo would one-shot Renbunken just like Toe would if he was really serious. But Gaimo wasn't capable of one-shotting Shin. And then Shin wasn't capable of one-shotting Bate.
Wait. What? Nah, see, I don't think...
Yeah, that's legit.
See, that's wild. That's wild.
How's that wild?
That's wild. You're saying that... First, you're saying that Toe and Gaimo would have one-shotted...
Yeah, but
right?
Toe was like...
Yeah, if they were serious. Because if you look at Toe's eyes, like he got the white eyes towards the end and he just like completely blitzed them.
Well, yeah, no. Toe, I don't know about a one-shot, but like, yeah, Toe dips him. Gaimo, I think is a decent fight. I don't think because like
you think Toe is significantly stronger than Gaimo? I think if anything, you can argue Gaimo's stronger.
Nah, I think like there was what was it that there was something about Gaimo that other generals didn't like. They didn't find like he wasn't like.
They didn't like that he didn't like look at the battlefield like they did. Like he didn't
missing something.
he was missing the sentiments, like viewing the battlefield in like this glorious way where it's like doing it for the states, for the people, all that shit.
So yeah, I think that makes him weaker than Toe. Toe is on the same level as them niggas.
But I think he has more brute strength than Toe to compensate for that.
I thought this was strength and weight.
What'd you say?
I thought this was strength and weight. Well,
Yeah.
Toe is probably higher than him. All right. Like I said, for me personally, I would switch Rabukin with Bati and then move Roku Omi up to whip 90. But that's just me. Again, you have the cavalry nigga and Karin's brother.
You always gotta bring these dudes up, bro.
Bro,
No,
come on,
because
like, they should have been any list.
That's what I'm saying. Like you have them
We
in the
don't know
list. That's
that.
why and then you have them above people that have
There's so many other people you could talk about, and you just have to talk about these guys like you don't know that this is just a prediction.
Denry next to So and shit as well.
Cause my man,
I think
you be
there's a big gap
disrespecting
between
my
them.
mans. Yo, Figo King should be higher. Figo King should be higher. That man was GOAT. Yo, okay, this is just strength, right?
Yeah, just
I don't
strength.
know. My opinions on characters based on what the fuck they do in the actual. Like, I just don't like Mako, son. Like, he's so trash.
Wait, is Marco in this list?
Yeah, he's
Oh,
comparable
yeah,
to Shiryu, Solo, in that tier round.
But Denry should be on like 89 or something.
Really? You think he's that weak?
Oh, bro, Rokyomi is not that weak, and Denry is just a pure strategist. So, and
Well,
like Shiryu and Soul, I think there's a big gap between them because
Denrimi kind of gave Shin the Iron Palm, kind of blitzed him.
Bro, come on.
He really gave him the slap. Like, yo, calm your ass down.
Watch your mouth, little boy. Who you talking to? He does have a sword on him as well, so I don't think he's purely strategist. I just think that's what he prefers to do, kind of like Kanki, who I think Kanki can fight, but if he's not like pushed to that, he won't do it.
Granted, Shin was freshly resurrected, but he did give Shin the hand, so
Yeah.
he gave Shin the good hand.
And if you look at their interaction when like they were first mentioned, and like Solo was like questioning Osen, and like Denrimi was like, "No, don't fucking question Osen. Like, what the fuck are you doing?" It kind of seemed to me like he was like punking him, and it's not like just because of his position. Like, I'm punking you because you can't do shit about it because my position. I felt like it was like I could fuck you up if I wanted to. Like, don't talk shit.
I saw
Honestly,
it as more like it was Denrimi because Denrimi like up Osa's ass. They both are, but Denrimi is the goody.
yeah,
Really
I
guy
was
that don't say
saying,
nothing
that
about
nigga,
the Lord, and so don't mind
he
like,
just a
stepping out
stickler,
of line
like,
a bit.
that nigga Derimi just a stickler OD. Like, yo, like, how dare you talk to the man?
Innit? Like,
You
it's
know
not
what
like
I'm
so
saying?
saying anything.
Yeah, but I don't think he's the type of fuckboy that only has the balls to say that because Solo can't do anything because of his position.
No,
I feel like
no,
he's
but
gonna
I
say
think
that
bro,
regardless because he's
like,
about
I
that.
I think he said it because he know, like, so him and Solo are good boys. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It wasn't no beef. Like, nigga, you can't be talking to the Lord. Like, Solo was like, nigga, like, all right, whatever. Because you saw when they left for battle, he was like, the nigga was making jokes, and he was like, all right, I'm gonna forgive that, but good luck to you.
Yeah, he did seem kind of fucking pissed off during that moment though.
Like, it was a bad joke. Like, he was like, it's been so long, I think we forgot how to fight. Nigga, shut up. Like, what? Like, what you talking about, nigga? Like, forgot how to fight? I'm gonna forgive that, alright? Just good luck to your dumb ass. Like, I got you, my nigga. I don't fail. Like, you know what I'm saying? They cool boys. Like, I don't think it was like him trying to play cards. Like, oh, I'm the third, you the fourth. Like, nah.
Yeah, me neither, but I think he's the type of person where it's like he'll only talk shit to him like that if he would be willing to talk shit to him like that under any circumstances. Like, if Solo was like willing to fight him, he would say the same shit because he's confident he can go up against Solo.
Nah.
That's the way I see it. I mean, you can disagree. There's like not much to say. Dinrimi's powerful, obviously.
I'm saying, but you think he would have said the same shit to Akko?
Nah, because he knows he would have got his shit clapped. That's why.
I could don't question Olsen though. That nigga say
Nah,
side.
but it would have been bad funny though. Like, yo, Akko, yo, who you talking to? What? Nigga? I'll spit you up, little man. So now that Mako's dead, do you think they're gonna get like a bump and rank?
Yeah, for sure.
Or I was about to say, like, Denrimi and them gonna get a bump like from third to second, or is Ozen just gonna recruit Shin?
I've never been on the he's gonna recruit Shin boat. I think Denrimi is pretty much a second hand man.
Yeah, Cause like yo, like Osen is like he's been really like he tried to get Moten. You know what I'm saying? He had that look at Shin right before he asked Shohei-kun for the request, and then when he looked at the glaive when Shin was asking the questions with the refugees, it
Oh,
was like he has taken an
what
interest in
if that is
Shin.
the request then? That would be mad. That forcing Shin to
The
join.
next time Ocean tries to recruit someone, he has to succeed because he failed with Kyoen, he failed with Ordo, he failed with Moten. Like, he needs a W when it comes to recruiting people.
But
Bro,
that's the
no,
thing, though. Honestly, I think Shin would accept it so that Ten would get better.
I don't
Ten
think he
could
would
study.
accept
Is
it.
Shin that type of person though?
But
Like as a
Shin
deputy,
respects
like
Oha though, like as a
if
friend, would
if
not do that.
nigga, I don't give a fuck about if I'm saying if like all right, so it's a foregone
Oh,
conclusion. They're generals, right? Shin, Moten,
yeah.
they're generals, but they're still gonna need experience and you know what I'm saying to gain the necessary battle prowess to fucking become great generals leading 100,000. So if he like becomes like a deputy to Osen, not like become one of Osen's vassals like Denrimi and them, but kind of how like Osen was to Mogu and how Kanki and Osen were to Mogu, where like he's a full-fledged general under a great general because what's it called? Osen will be a great general after that.
Well, see, the thing is that even if he was under Osen, I don't feel like he would have that position over Aiko, first of all. And then I think Denrimi's gonna learn Origins. So then once Denrimi gets Origins and Solo too, I think they would both be ranked above Shin as well.
Yeah.
Wait, whoa, no, like
Shin
Akko
is
would
Let's
keep
not
right.
forget
his
this nigga's biased, so.
Akko would keep his rank
What,
at
Draco?
number one.
Uh,
Oh, what's up,
He
man?
ranked above Shin in terms of a general, or just like they're already ranked above Shin as generals already.
Say that
No,
again?
no, no, no. What I'm saying is like
Are you? Oh, ahead, talk about that.
what I was trying to say is like Akko would keep his rank as like Osen's number one, but in terms of just well, yeah, I guess they would kind of have to just like keep Shin at number four. Like if he was to be added for them.
Yeah, what I was saying, Draco, was that what Twilight was like, Shin's gonna be recruited under Osen, but instead of just being a normal vassal, he was gonna be vice general. And I was basically saying he would have to be the next best general to be the vice general. And I think Aiko's better than him. And once Denrimi and Solo learn Origins and teach their army Origins, I think they'll be above Shin too.
I
Yeah,
don't
that's
know.
if they
It
learn
depends how
Origins though.
consistent his instincts are. 'Cause it's not that consistent.
Yeah, because Shin's obviously gonna grow by the time Denrimi and Solo learn Origins, so it depends on that too.
Yeah. But if it's
Oh,
not
wait.
based on what he has now, then yeah, I see it. But I don't know. I feel like Shin's army will still be stronger than their armies, if including Kyokai. I'm saying, if they, even though they have Origin.
I can't really agree with that.
Well, his
But hold on.
instincts would be Origins though, naturally.
Yo, what up, Cass?
What are you saying, Draco, man?
Saying like Raito fucking shot on Origin's troops, but
Bro, you should have been here earlier. Twale was saying that fucking Rokuomi shits on Raito.
you're trolling. How the fuck is Rokuomi ever gonna hold out Rebuke like that?
No, he means in a fight. But he probably means as a general too, but he was saying in a fight, Rokuomi shits on him.
Nah, Raito slept on, bro. And I don't think what's his name, Rokuomi, has ever given me that impression that he's that crazy strong. I feel like at the very most they'll be the same level.
I mean, I just went off their stats being the same, so I just put them in the same tier. Because I didn't have much to go off of.
But you know me, the benefit of the doubt king. I'll give it to Raito, dog.
Of course. Man, you should have been here to rep your boy. Twale was going in on the Conky army.
All right, hold
How
up.
the fuck, bro?
Hold up.
I'm only gonna be here for a bit because I gotta drive back home. Like an hour, I
Hold
guess.
up.
So I'll just
What
body
up,
him
man?
if he wants to. What up, Twale?
So what I was saying was,
Bro, did you say you're gonna body him?
Of course. what
You
do
said that so quietly, dude. You're like, I just body him.
No,
How did you hear that?
itching
You
my
didn't want him
nose.
to hear that, did you?
I was
I was
saying a
itching.
quiet scene.
I was
I
itching
see.
my nose, dog. Why would I,
Yeah,
why would I
yeah,
say
yeah,
of
yeah.
course right after? Man? I'm not
So-
confident.
What I was saying is that Roku Omi
Okay.
has been more impressive than Raito because one, he was the only one or the first one to take out one of the war elephants and still made it back in time to
A
save
war
Toe and
elephant?
them. Yeah.
Bro, Kanki army would
Hold
like.
on.
serious?
Ryder would easily not run away.
This nigga said, "Are you
Easily figure that
serious?"
shit out. What?
Bro,
A war
that's not
elephant
even
to beat
impressive.
out?
Like, come on.
First of all, Raito's big ass is not climbing up the war elephant to take out.
Oh, he's fucking-
You think he can't climb, bro? You think he can't climb?
Not while getting
Martin Bandit,
stampeded.
dog.
The mountain niggas would have sounded that fire whistle that they do when they
Fuck
them
outta
niggas would've been
Bro,
out.
bro.
Them niggas would have sort of
Yo,
won.
like,
Would
I
have
didn't
been
even
out.
capture fully yet. But you
But
see how
nah.
Zeno just ran in.
But like I was saying,
personally
fought-
take them all out.
hold on. But like I was trying to say, he fought. What's this dude's name? Rinbunkin, while getting arrows at a certain point.
And
from
got his
the
ass
fucking-
kicked.
But he was getting shot at. He was.
I
Getting
used to
arrows
defend
shot at
Rakumi
him
for this. But
Well, he himself said it wasn't a problem.
after he became
That's what you said
accustomed
before,
to it.
too. Consistent.
Right, but I'm saying, but he had to become accustomed to it, bro. But it's still the fact that I'm fighting someone who's on a higher level than me, because I do think Rinbunkin was stronger than him.
Yeah.
So he's fighting somebody on a higher level than him while he has a fucking sniper shooting arrows at him that he has to deflect, bro. That's anything more, bro. Raito got his ass punched by Shin and told his ass to sit
that's
down.
stupid.
I don't want to hit. Don't use that.
No, he literally told me that the same thing would happen to Rokuomi. That Rokuomi would give him like a way harder fist fight, quote unquote.
Wait.
Rokuomi is not.
Dog. Show up in the
Rokuomi is
street,
not
dog.
Who has Zeno? Who has Raito even fought?
What are you
Bro,
talking
Raito
about?
hasn't
Boku,
Raito
man.
hasn't
He
even fought
has
anybody.
destructive feats, like, and they always hype up his fucking strength in the Kanki army.
That's Zeno. That's Zeno. Raito hasn't fought
also
anybody
have
fodder.
I
Raito
know.
hasn't fought anybody.
Neither has
but fodder.
Zeno. Neither hasn't fought anybody with fodder, but we still hype him up. Come on now. No, Kanki has
Exactly.
not
You
shown
hyping
strength
up
yet.
niggas that only fight fodder.
And
Them
Rakumi
niggas
I mean,
that
yeah,
have to fight
Twilight
everybody
isn't gonna
with
be with
fodder.
you on the Zeno point, 'cause he's gonna
Bro,
talk shit about
both
Zeno
of them-
too.
I know, but I'm
Both of
saying,
them
right?
got- you talking about-
Rakumi
didn't both
fought
of them
nobody
get-
with fodder, and the one time he fought
was it-
somebody that's not even
talking
that
about
strong,
question.
he got
Question.
fucking put in the dirt. Like, he got literally fucking curb stomped. Like,
Question.
Rakumi was fine after. Like, I don't even think he landed a hit. It's dog shit, bro. I'm not saying dog
How
shit.
the energy
That's
has
great.
switched.
What are you talking
Wow.
about? Rakumi was
Wow.
fucking fighting 20K people
and
in
Shin,
the
and again, Shin told
energy.
your boy,
Energy did not switch.
I take Roku only beating a war elephant and fighting another general while having the archers fight him over fucking Raito fighting fodder and Shin.
Okay, but I don't even think Draco would argue to you that Raito has better strength feats.
That's what he's arguing. He's arguing
No.
that Raito's stronger.
No, I think he's arguing off his personal belief. He's not saying he has better feats.
Yeah, like I'm saying both of their feats are ass in terms of strength. But then if y'all goes one, I don't even hold anything to Rakumi's feats because you guys as curb stomped and he fought an elephant. I have no reason to believe Raito can't do
How did
either.
he-
His
Ra-
ass
Raito
is
can't
strong.
climb, bro. Too
Bro,
difficult.
How did he get curb stomped? Again,
Bro,
he
you
was
literally
fighting-
see head fall.
He was
bounce off
fighting,
the
bro.
fucking dirt.
No, Raito got curb stomped. Shin punched that man twice, and he sat down for the rest of the conversation. That's
Kaki-
getting curb stomped.
Doctor, you had that panel where
Roku
Rakumi-
Omi actually fought the dude while having a sniper trained on him, and you're saying that that's trash? Like, come on,
bro, he was fine.
Your
He did
man got
nothing to him.
your man got put in his place. That's what I'm saying.
Bro,
that
he
wouldn't
got
have
put in
happened to
his
Roku.
place, but
But
then
that's
he came
fucking
back and
Shin,
fucking
though.
soloed Roku's army. What
Bro,
the fuck? I got
bro,
called
he-
back history and shit.
Hold on, wait, time out. Let me just say this. Right after he punched Raito for the last time, fucking BA came in last second, so Raito had a reason to not attack back because the situation changed and they were trying to figure out what was going on.
Come on.
Alright, don't go that far, but...
Raito would
But
kill
he would have
Shin.
done better than he showed, obviously.
Raito,
Yeah, for
Raito
sure.
would kill Shin. Are you like, bro?
I'm trolling with that one, but come on.
Oh, okay. No, thank you for admitting that dumb shit. Thank you for admitting it, because I was really about to get tight. Like, are you serious?
Are you gonna admit the fact that you try to hype up a nigga for getting curb stopped and riding the elephant?
He didn't get curb stomped,
That's
and he
feast
beat
now?
the elephant.
Sanji shit,
He
bro.
beat the elephant.
He stood on the
He-
table.
He said Sanji shit.
Sanji, like, Sanji fans trying to hype him up for standing on the table and shit.
Nah. Roku only has feet.
You're getting
bro. He was
disrespectful
one of
in
the-
here.
Like, remind you, he broke through. He was one of the people that broke through fucking Gahome's.
Thank you for bringing up destructive feats, cause I have shit for Raito now.
He was the one that broke. He was one of the people that broke through Gahome's force in a day, just one push.
Yeah, but he had nobody of worth. I used to argue this, bro. I used to
Yeah.
argue.
Oh, homie, though, like,
But it,
He had
yeah,
nobody
but it
of
only-
worth
So what?
standing
But
in
it's
front
still-
of him. If he had fucking any of the four
Okay.
wheat dragons, he would not be breaking through like that.
Okay, that's okay. Valid point, but he still
Yeah.
did it in a single push.
Raito maybe.
Like literally no interference, nigga. From start, he stayed at toe
Aight.
side.
If you
and
put
then-
Raito there, he would not be
and
breaking
what-
through.
What?
Rakomi will
Are
be
you-
breaking through, especially after the feats you got on
Bro,
Raito. These
Your
past
boy,
two chapters.
your boy only beat the fucking tired and fatigued
Tired of
army.
fatigue,
Yes,
origin
bro.
troops.
Tired and fatigued.
Was
Them
Reboku
niggas
at the
ran.
helm?
Don't try to slip that in there, Draco.
Reboku,
Them
Fute
niggas
came.
was,
Come on,
bro.
like,
It
even
was
if they're
that- it
tired,
was
it's still
high.
Reboku.
I'll explain to you.
bro.
I'll explain this shit to you, bro.
I'll give it to you that Fute
Rhino-
was there.
Fute was there.
Hey,
And
even
Kisui
Kane-
was back
Kane was
too.
putting in
You didn't see
work.
him. He's definitely there.
We talking about Kisui, bro. You see in this latest chapter that
Where's
Kisui
Benanji
came,
at, dog? Benanji's there too. I'll screen.
Kisui came from behind.
No,
Reboku
Kane was
as
there,
soon
not
as-
Kisui.
As I'm about to say, Kisui and Bati came
What's
from
coming?
behind Reboku right after the fucking gates opened. They got there too late.
Yeah, but they still fought after that gate without even Zeno there. That just shows how impressive he is. He told Zeno, "I don't need you here," and they were at that point still outnumbered by Reboku, the fucking guy that you guys put on
Bro,
the pedestal,
and
right?
Kanki didn't say nothing, but
Let me
Reboku
finish.
was giving
Yeah.
orders.
Bro,
Kanki
Bro.
didn't even step up. He used a sub to come after him, right? He held him off by himself.
Oh my
Zeno
god.
came in. He's like, Zeno, we don't need you here, right?
so
Zeno left.
so
And he
now,
still held him
off.
okay.
Reboku was
So
crying
now,
just
so
for the
now
right-off.
context. So now context doesn't count, right? So when
What
you
context
No,
are
it
you
does,
missing?
but it's
when
still
you
Reboku.
when you want to wank Conky off, context doesn't matter. But what I
What-
want to
what-
talk
what context? I know I'm not an idiot.
Y'all niggas too much.
The context
I'm not an
that-
idiot. I know the context. I know the
All right,
context
then.
that they were
So if
tired.
you're- all right then, they were tired, fatigued, and they were running for
But
3 days straight.
I'm telling you the other side too, where they were
I'm
fucking
telling you the other
outnumbered
side
him by like at least two.
Yeah, but Conky's boys were chilling.
Cause Rhino's that nigga, bro. What are you talking about?
Bro, Conky's army didn't even have to fight for like 10 days because
Cause they're that good, bro. No, they
Cause
were
they
fighting.
stopped
They
the
were
attack.
fighting. They were fighting the entire time. They were
They
fighting.
stopped it. No, they left Conky's army alone after like the 8th day or some dumb shit.
I think it was like the 5th day.
Like,
Basically, when Reboku got word that Gyo's food stores are gonna outlast Kins.
Yeah, they stopped fighting. So Conky was really just chilling there for 10 days.
Yeah, but he's still stretched thin, dog. He doesn't have his whole army facing Reboku. They were completely outnumbered, and they still.
The same Kaz arguments.
Bro, tired, bro, being exhausted.
I don't care if you're
fatigued,
tired, dog.
It
I'm like,
means a lot.
okay,
It means a lot when you the Zao army.
Twale, bro.
It
Twale,
means a
look at
lot
shit, right?
when you the Zao army. If you was the
Alright,
Quinn,
Twale.
it don't matter. Because the Quinn been fighting for 3 days, no food, tired.
Twale.
But when you Zao, nigga, you tired, you can't fight. So
Alright,
it counts.
Twale.
Nigga, it counts.
How come the Shin army that was hungry and shit was able to defeat Reboku's army, and the fact that Shin was fucking on his like didn't eat food for 3 days, knocked out Hoken, but we give him all this hype, but at the same
just
time
like-
we gotta downplay.
Well, that same Haishin unit failed to beat Kinmo without a Kaken. And that's with Shin leading the charge.
So fucking fuck hard then, I guess.
Shin at that time, Shin and Kyokai at that time were shit because they was injured. It
Yo,
wasn't
but look at
until
this,
they
bro.
saw.
I'll
It
say,
wasn't until they
we're going in
saw
circles
Hoken
right
that
now.
they
I'll
actually
just tell you why I
got
hyped them, right? When they had Zeno, the strongest guy in fucking the army was Raido, one of the second strongest in the army, and their respective crews, right? It was
Right.
still outnumbered by the Reboku army, led by Reboku. Let's not forget the fact he's led by Reboku.
How
bro.
was they outnumbered? Reboku
They
only
said
took
themselves.
a portion. Reboku only took a portion.
I'll bring the
He
pen,
didn't
I'll bring
even
the pen
have
out.
the whole army.
No, but
I know, but they were still outnumbered them.
Okay,
They were
Yeah.
saying,
but how much?
we outnumbered them. We can do this. They were hyping themselves up. We outnumbered the guys like the Kanki army. Let's do this. Let's break through. They outnumbered them, right? But then the next day, Zeno and his fucking niggas dipped out. So now it's only Raido.
The next day, now he's trying to say they fought for a day.
I'm gonna say the next day, my nigga.
You know what I meant. The next chapter.
I'm just trolling you.
Alright. The next time we see them, Raido was confident he could take him himself. And when
Right,
Zeno
because of how tired and fatigued
Bro,
they
it's
were.
still
how strong he
Reboku
was, nigga,
tactics
relax,
though
nigga.
against Raido. Like,
Because of how, bro,
I mixed it both.
Reboku didn't.
Still
Reboku
feats.
didn't have. Listen, Reboku didn't
but
have.
still better than
everyone's
anyone
tired
ever did.
though. Like,
Listen. You keep talking about Reboku tactics. Reboku did not have time to get into any formations because he just had to charge.
no,
because he
but bare
ran out
time
of
passed
time.
between when Reboku arrived and said attack, and then when Osen came. I mean, when Gyo opened and he
A lot of
retreated.
time passed.
So in between there, Reboku
What?
obviously said do X, Y, Z.
How can you? We don't know how much time passed. So how can you say a lot?
Come on.
They're fucking
Come on.
looting
We saw the formations. It's not like we have to pretend. Like we saw it was just basic fighting.
Thank you, like
It was
bro.
basic
They
fighting, but there's
literally.
a lot of intricacies in basic fighting, Doctors. Come on, now Origins.
It's still Reboku.
Like,
No, we're not.
Bro,
You're not gonna just slip their origin troops past me.
Bro,
They-
Origins is
bro.
facts. We will get this
but
shit.
they didn't, bro. They literally got in view of the city. Said, "Great, it hasn't fallen." Then they saw Conky's men roll up and said, "Charge." There was no formation, bro. Like they literally had
Bro,
to get into
why the
fight,
fuck would
and
they
they're
not try their
injured.
best, using their best formation,
Because
like tactics to break down this Conky army?
You can,
Once
bro,
they realize
you can try whatever. But
yeah,
if
because
you've been
Conky's that
running,
nigga. Like,
Because
you
they
can try
weren't
whatever
Riboku's
against
troops.
Naruto.
Oh, yo!
No, they
Couldn't,
were
you
couldn't do
could-
the
They were
formations.
Their core, nigga.
Oh my
Their core of
God.
his army.
No, the
you-
core was the
if you-
Shukai troops.
The core of his core, nigga. The best elites.
No, that's not what it was said.
But Naji wasn't there. I mean, not
Naji was somewhere
Naji
there.
wasn't there.
Was there, but off screen, we didn't see him.
We come on. They gave everybody a panel. Like, we literally saw.
They didn't show him
I
a
don't
panel
even
the
know
entire
that.
time. Where was he?
That was
Did he die?
bullshit.
Defending?
I have
Why
no
they show us
idea.
defending?
He was probably back there fighting the
How
Ocean
come we
Army.
were believing the fact that he was defending when we didn't see him defending? But we're not gonna believe the fact that he was attacking when we didn't see him attacking. So like, why is one way more likely than the other?
true.
Come on now.
Because if he's attacking, then he would get a panel because that's actually a major moment. We didn't see any of the defending taking place.
We saw the defending with
No, but we
what's
heard
his
We
name?
didn't see-
Goku saying,
we
what he
didn't
was
see
you
doing.
gotta turn back,
anybody-
and he fucking the.
Yes, because that was when a major moment happened.
But that's
Still
what, if
major
he was a
moment.
bro,
You see
if
the-
you're
you see
you're telling me that Roboku's
major.
major attacking was attacking and we didn't see him attack, is that what
That's
you're trying to
'cause,
say?
you know,
It's fucking hard,
Conky
dog.
was
I'm telling
handling
you, like,
it,
I was
innit?
believing what's
Is
possible.
that no? But is that what you
I'm saying it's
or-
possible. It's not completely.
or that it would be more likely that his strongest weapon was used to block the major deterrent that was the Ocean Army, and we didn't see how that battle ended or how that battle went after Roboku
We
left
seen
the
that
fight.
Ocean was in no rush. So he wasn't like putting on the pressure in the back because he said Rado got
Yeah,
it.
but Ocean has never been in a rush. My man is clean.
Yeah, because he knew Rado's that
'Cause
nigga.
he
He knows
got-
how strong Rado is. Same way he knew how strong Gillen was. dog. Come on now.
Even if he's not in a rush, he's still gonna put pressure so Riboku doesn't feel like he can just send as many troops to Kanki as he wants.
Yeah, that's true.
And again,
But
they were tired
still think it's
and
possible, but I don't think it
fatigued.
was
They
the
was running for 3
Bro,
days
but
straight.
being tired.
It's
like,
definitely being disingenuous at the very least.
being old man and all of that was
Bro,
tired.
that was literally like the reason Osa said he was like, yo, no matter how you look at it, they're not gonna beat the Conky army tired and fatigued as they are. That was literally
that's
No,
how
but
strong the
Roboku
Conky
did
is.
say that
You're the
about
only nigga that
the
sleep
right
on
wing
him.
though.
It was basically a roundabout way of saying Riboku would have won if he wasn't tired.
No, it's
Thank
not
you.
around the way
No,
we're
yes, it
saying
is,
that.
bro.
No, it's
That's
not.
He's like, even Riboku's not gonna win because he's tired.
Yeah. Even
what he's saying is if Roboku was fresh, then we would have to hurry
No,
up.
Bro,
If
what
Roboku
Ocean
was
knows
fresh,
Conky
then we
can
would
take
have to
Roboku.
actually
He
get
went
into
tired is a more close fight, but we still know the outcome of it. But he can say for sure they weren't gonna win. They're tired. But if they're not tired, is up in the air. I still give it to Conky.
No, because
No,
he
bro,
was like,
no.
even Riboku, he can't win if they're tired, being like, okay, it's not even a possibility because he's tired, right?
That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying,
But
like,
he's giving Conky the win. He's like, okay, even Riboku, he's not gonna get this win, but even though he's Riboku, like this isn't happening.
even as smart, I'm about to say, even as smart and
Yeah,
as
I
great
don't
as
think it's like
tactics
a
are,
roundabout way of saying anything.
nah, it
like-
was definitely a
Why not?
roundabout way of saying that if
Because
Roboku's
he's
army was
only
fresh,
talking about the instance
if
we're in
Roboku's
now.
army was fresh, then
okay,
he
fine.
would have beaten Kaki's army.
No,
That-
he's not saying that at all.
That's
Bro,
not what he said.
Bro,
That's
that was
fucking you
stated
jumping
by
to
I
conclusions.
agree that he
Bro,
said
that was stated
the
by
only
Kanki's
Roboku
army,
see
bro.
the genius.
Yeah,
he-
but that's not big enough force that they're talking about.
Bro, Kanki's army themselves stated that if Roboku
No, but
came with a
Kanki's
large
army say the wrong thing a lot though, and Kanki's
Oh,
They
just
sleep
always
on themselves
thinking
the entire
something
man. They
else.
sleep on the entire time. It's like they're all hype tools to just fucking make us have
My
some
nigga,
tension.
Marin
But Conky did something
rightfully-
otherwise.
Bro, Marin right.
Conky was never nervous.
Never.
That shit was a miracle.
He
bro.
didn't know
rightfully
if Roboku was tired or not originally as well.
But
and
going
he-
back to what I was saying, he's not saying a roundabout way they would have won. He's saying this, like how strong, because of how strong Conky's army is. Even if Roboku himself is leading this, they're just not good enough to beat Conky at their current state. But then he's not making any judgments on how possible they could have beat Conky.
Okay, I have the exact quote. So he said, "Imagine how fatigued their army must be. Conky should not be bested by them, not even with Riboku at their helm." So he's like, okay, Riboku besting them, it does seem possible, but the reason even Riboku can't do it is because their army's fatigued.
Yeah.
So he's got.
possibility because Roboku can beat everyone
saying
possible.
that's kind of redundant saying that. The fact that he's saying that it's impossible. is the thing-
No, because he's saying even though they're tired, there's a possibility of Riboku beating them because he's Riboku, even though they're tired, but it's not gonna happen. He's saying Riboku not winning is like a possibility, even though it's like more likely. But he's saying even though because it's Riboku, even though they're tired, they still have a chance because it's Riboku.
Wait, time out. you repeat the code then? 'Cause I didn't get that at all.
Wait,
Okay, so he's saying, imagine how fatigued their army must be. Alright, I'll screenshot it. He's saying, imagine how fatigued their army must be. Kanki should not be bested by them, not even with Ruboku at their helm. So him saying not even with Ruboku at their helm is being like, Ruboku has a chance at beating him even with these disadvantages because he's Ruboku. Because he's that nigga.
It's saying Kanki's that strong that even if Ruboku's at their army, he's not using to them.
Oh, what
No,
the fuck?
it's
My shit's
saying-
glitching out.
It's saying that because Raboku's army is fatigued and tired,
I
they have no
agree with
chance
that part,
of
but the
beating.
second part,
They have no. But I'm saying but what I'm saying is, if Raboku's army was fresh, like put it like
What
this,
the
right?
fuck is
say,
going on?
Say they beat Osen and them at the Shukai Plains,
Alright.
took a day to rest up, and then took
that's-
another day to go at Yo. They beat Kanki's army right now.
No,
that's a
not
different,
facts.
different
But
complete context.
they
We don't know how
may
much people
win.
they have with them.
Raido, yeah, we don't know.
Oh,
Who's,
man.
is Gyoen alive? Is Chogaru alive? It
Yeah.
depends
No.
on.
I'm
Alright.
saying at the
Hoken
moment
alive?
of like the Hoken's dead, Shin is dead, and then they go on and kill.
I have no
Osen
idea what the
and
fuck's
kill
going
the
on.
rest of them.
But
The
is
same people
Gyoen alive?
the same people that arrived. And I say this: the same people that arrived at Gyo to fight Zeno and Ryder, they arrived fresh. Like
Yeah,
they
the
would-
same people that
Not
right, the
including
same
Banagi
people that
and that shit.
arrived.
they would have fucking lost.
So you telling me a fresh Raboku army still would have lost to Kanki?
Of those people
Yeah.
that we saw, the one that you saying, not including Banagi and shit, they would have got slapped.
Wow. Even if okay.
Yeah, like come on, bro. Like,
Like, come
Raido
on.
Zeno against who? Keith,
That's-
Fute,
yeah,
and
but
Kane.
not-
But
Yeah, y'all can hear me, right?
Banaji,
Yeah, we can.
Banaji
Bro,
killed.
Zeno
Okay, yeah, my shit is
Banaji
fucking
killed
frozen
Zeno.
for some reason.
No, Banaji's not killing Zeno for sure. but
Banaji kills
Yeah,
Zeno.
come
it'll be a-
on. You can
it'll
believe
be a
that
good fight.
possibility can